Hi, folks. How are you? So, welcome to another edition of the Psychic Roundtable. And I do apologize. I've had food poisoning lately, so my eyes really they're bugging me hard, which is hence the glasses, the blue blocker glasses. But anyways, so tonight we're going to do a little lunar eclipse check-in, and we've got Welso of Shining Ram Kindred. He's our Norse Pagan, which we haven't heard from in a little while. We have hopefully Katie Walker, AngelLynn. I know Thor can't join us tonight, and I doubt Matt can of DPART, but we also have Destini of Sunshine Oracle, Wade McMorgan. So without further ado, Welso is here. Johnny on the spot. Hello, Welso. Thanks for joining.
What up, man?
How are you?
I'm here, man. Like I'm tired as hell.
Baby, you're crackly.
Oh well, that.
It's okay.
Okay, what about now?
Perfect. Thank you, Welso. Man, you got your
Yeah.
beard coming in, dude. Hi, Wade.
Yeah, man, I'm so happy about it.
Nice. So I'm guessing you're participating in No Shave November
It's been no shave.
for a while.
Yeah.
So how you been, Wade?
I've been all right.
Awesome. Well, since neither of you guys have been on for a little bit, go ahead and introduce yourselves to the nice folks who always love to just kind of watch and lurk.
Lurk?
Mm-hmm.
Lurk. I mean, I do that quite a bit.
I know.
I'm Welso. I'm the Jarl and various other things. I'm too lazy to remember the names right now. My mind is.
I get it.
Yeah. Of Shining Ram, which is the North. I mean, it would essentially be the same thing as a coven or a group of witches, but for the Norse.
Okay.
What
does a group of Norse witches do? I feel like that's like they drink meat and they throw rocks and axes and stuff. I feel like it would be very raw, you know?
Well, okay. So the axes don't start coming out until at least the third bottle of mead.
Oh God. That sounds so dangerous. All right, but are there bonfires? Because seriously.
Well, okay, so ideally what we like to do is when we have our gatherings, because we have our holidays, which is really when we meet up.
Mm-hmm.
We like to have giant bonfires and then spit roast either a hog or a lamb or something over it. But in modern day society, the law frowns upon that, and it saddens me because then people get married and their wives won't let them.
What? Okay.
Yeah, I'm still trying to convince her to let me do it in the backyard, but she's not going.
Well, and more legality than anything. What you guys need is a nice place out in the country.
Well, yeah, so things cost money, though.
I'm fully aware of that. Oh, God.
And apparently just going out in the middle of the woods and having bonfires is actually really stupid to do, which some people may have done as teenagers almost every night.
Well, I didn't, but,
A heathen would.
I was always too busy working. I am a workaholic by certification, trade, astrology sign, and everything else, but I enjoy it, so we're good. Now I'm kind of like a workaholic / kidaholic, so I love being with my kid and I love working, and that's just about it.
Yeah, no, I actually started classes, so it's like I've been doing
For what?
Electrical for my apprenticeship.
Awesome.
It sounds awesome. But then you realize that you're doing a full college course on top of working damn near 60 hours a week.
Oh, dude, that is rough.
I love it. It's so much fun. And honestly, the only thing keeping me going is the fact that like I don't have to hire an electrician to do shit at my house anymore.
That's awesome.
We're expensive. Like I
Yeah.
don't
Oh
know
yeah.
if you've looked at the prices
Oh yeah.
for electricians, but we're
Uh-huh.
not cheap.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, like I'm also building some cool shit every now and again. I mean, now I'm working all under or like all outside, and the only shade we have is my sombrero that's around my hard hat. Um, because we're starting 2 more buildings. But other than that, when we actually get inside, then we get to. I mean, I get to hook up some really high powered shit.
Nice.
Like the average is like 480 volt for everything, which it's pretty fun. Until I have to get stuck inside the gear for a month, and
Yeah.
the gear is the size of oh, put like I guess the vanity to your sink in your bathroom is roughly the size of the gear, and then I get to crawl in there because I'm a first year and be
Oh
in there for for long periods of time because we have to clean everything. That's not fun.
no. Wow. Okay. Wow.
Well, so and it's funny because my brother's a software engineer and like he's worked for one of the companies that we install gear for, like the gear of.
Okay.
And I know he's a software engineer and has no design of any of the gear itself.
Mhm.
But I get on him. I'm like, y'all couldn't have made this slightly bigger. Like, I know, understand you guys have your OSHA standards and you don't do anything bigger than that. But like, people got to put this in, man. And
Yeah, no kidding. Oh wow. Okay.
then he's like, I had nothing to do with it. I'm like, I know you didn't, but you're the only person I know.
Exactly. So therefore, you're gonna get the complaint, whether you like it or you don't.
Yeah. But so going on the worksheet kind of goes along because I'm not gonna lie, I may or may not have like 20 minutes ago looked up what the lunar eclipse does and like who it necessarily directly affects. And I am a Gemini.
Dude, lunar eclipse is all about release. It's basically yanking things away from you that you are holding on to for dear life that you don't need. That's
Yeah,
like a Saturn returns. Wade,
and
you want to weigh in on that?
Astrologically, probably, but from a more folkloric perspective,
Mhm.
the lunar eclipse was usually a time that was dreaded in most cultures. They feared it because it was a time when the universe basically someone's basically thrown a wrench into the universe, and they didn't know what the hell to do.
Right.
check engine light came on.
Mm-hmm.
Very much.
Yeah.
But
No, sorry. I should say the check engine light came on. It's been on for a good 500 miles, and now you're hearing a clinking.
pretty much. Well, this whole damn year has been a check engine light. Actually, this whole year has been like a car crash.
This whole decade has been.
Yeah. Honestly, since 2019 for me. 2019 is when a poop storm started and it just kept, and it's been ups and downs, but I will say this year has been the most rapid ups and downs.
Mm.
So I'm seeing a lot more ups within a shorter span of time this year.
Yeah.
But I'm still getting a lot of downs.
I really, really miss the 90s.
Bingo. Yes, I do as well.
I can't say I miss the 90s because I was born at the end of them, but like the late 2000s I miss because I was actually able to like I remember because I was still a kid at that point. I mean a kid. I you guys look at me and still say I'm a kid. Um and I
You're
have
still
one.
pretty
So
young. Yeah, I know.
but no,
Like a baby.
but no, I remember like just even going and mom would always be standing outside yelling for us when the streetlights came on because my brother and I mean, honestly, more me than my brother, but
Oh my God, Katie made
was
it. All right, everybody. She's been having some tech problems.
oh
Hey,
fair.
Katie,
Hi.
Hi.
I'm glad you made it on.
Me too.
This is Katie Walker. She is a massage therapist. Now, do you do Reiki as well? I can't remember.
Me too. Yeah.
Okay. This is Welso, Wade, Katie. Guys, introduce each other. Make her feel welcome.
Hi,
Hi,
I'm
Katie.
Welso.
Nice to meet you.
I'm a Norse pagan. I have my own kindred,
Cool.
Shining Ram. I'm also an electrician. And I'm a Gemini Cancer. I'm a
I
cuspid.
am Pisces as fuck. I have been a witch for about 30 years. I follow a very traditional Wiccan path, which a lot of people think they know what Wicca is, but I can assure you they don't really know what Wicca is. They've just internalized what the major publishers have told them Wicca is, and so they have all these incorrect assumptions about the craft, and it really sucks because they use it nowadays as a method of punching down on the craft when really they should be celebrating it and making sure that all paths are on the same level.
Mm-hmm. Get you there.
I mean, yeah, I mean, a lot of people also don't. I mean, I'm not trying to get into it, but a lot of people assume it's not true, and the Norse pagans are what Marvel seems to
Oh my God.
represent. I know I had to. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna go. I'll try not to go on a rant, I should say.
You know
But-
what? One of these days, you're going to get drunk on Madewell, and you're going to be running around in a Thor outfit, and I'm going to catch a picture of it, then I'm going to send it to you.
No, actually, to be 100%. So I want to get a Tibetan Mastiff, and I want to get a Chariot when I get it because Tibetan Mastiffs are cool, and I'm not going to be able to hold that dog back whenever we go on a walk. So I'm just going to hook up the Chariot.
Oh, no.
But then I'll also make the Chariot look like the front of a bow, and
Okay.
I mean, it probably won't help me if the cops try to be like, "Hey, dude, you can't be riding that," and I'll be like, "I got a license," and they're going to be like, "Where's the license?" I'm like, "I got a giant ass dog here. You think I care?" Like,
Oh, God. Dude, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to see your picture in the news, aren't I, Welso? Aren't I? Yes.
it'll be in the Des Moines Register. I almost guarantee it. I'm not going to promise. I don't actually want that. Actually, it probably won't be in the Des Moines Register.
Oh, Welso, we lost you. Welso, come back to us. We feel your presence. Somebody light a candle. This is the equivalent of a virtual seance. Come back to us. Speak to us, Welso. Poor Welso. He is having tech difficulties. Well, Katie, you swapped him tech difficulties.
That's okay. It was really weird. Apparently it automatically blocked this specific group.
Welso, you good?
Yeah, my dad was calling me.
No worries, man. Anyway,
I was
Katie,
like, I'm busy.
go ahead. I'm busy. I'm on group chat. Okay. Katie, go ahead. You said it blocked this particular link for you?
Yeah, it just you have to I don't know. I don't know technology well enough to really know anything, but
I get you.
I figured it out.
Good job. Well done. No, I will tell you though, with lunar eclipses, Mercury retrogrades, they kind of do the same thing with tech. So they kind of make everything a little fritzy. Then again, the tech gremlins just hate me. They hate all my stuff. They're just like, we're going to be as bratty as humanly possible. So I'm working on a t-shirt design for it.
By the way, if I may ask, if anyone should happen to know any mead makers in the area, let me know because
Also,
I'm looking for a bottle of a really sweet, really potent mead.
I second that.
Well, you're going to know him. Well, so the one guy I knew, he turned a little bit shady, and I kind of backed off any of my dealings with him. So,
Yeah, I'm working on a book, and I'd like something to set aside that I can open when I've actually finished the book.
nice.
Mhm.
Nice. I like that. Well, so you look a little concerned, dude.
Yeah. I mean, my dad fell off a tractor tire yesterday, and apparently he broke his back. But
Ooh.
God,
yeah,
Jesus. Kiddo, do you call him back?
nah, it's
You,
fine.
you can hop back on.
I know it's fine. I mean, we're dudes, and he literally was just like, "I'm just going to go to the chiropractor. It'll be
With
fine."
dudes? Oh my god.
Oh, God. Okay. I still, I don't like going to the doctors myself, but I would say for something like that, you need to go and at least get checked.
Yeah, that's what he did, and he's just like, honestly, it's only hurt because of the fact that they've told me I broke it. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I can't tell you how many times like I actually slammed my finger into the top of some rebar with because the sledgehammer didn't want to go on it.
Oh.
That feels great. I have to tape myself at least once a week because I just have electrical tape sitting around everywhere.
If you would quit drinking on the job, you would be fine, Welso.
I don't drink on the job. It's now within the first 10 seconds of me walking in from work. That may or may not be a different situation. However,
Oh.
I normally
Are
wouldn't
10
care
beers
about a
in by the
job.
time you get in there? No, I'm teasing. No, I'm
I normally
joking.
wouldn't care about the job, but
Oh.
this is actually a good one for once. So I'm like, I'm not gonna fuck this one up.
No, I've known a lot of construction workers, electricians, things like that, and a lot of times they are tanked on the job, especially the more elder
Yeah.
ones that I've met. I was always surprised that they could be comfortable handling power tools while drinking.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the dumbasses that work around me.
That's true. You have a point.
Like I have like a lot of bulldozers and excavators and
That is
all
bloody well
that.
terrifying.
Yeah, so I'm like, you know what? These people, and that seen them do some.
Oh, hello. You see them do some blank. So Wade, we never got into what you do for a living.
Oh. It's a very personal, touchy subject. I don't really like getting into it.
Male stripper it is. Okay, moving on. Katie, now
Yeah.
I know you're full-time with your massage, correct?
Sorry, hold on.
It's okay.
Sorry, I'm apparently popular for once in my life.
Oh,
My cats are starting to feel the energy of this conversation.
Pets always go crazy when I'm on. They're like, what?
I'm waiting for mine to come up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's yours?
Last couple nights I've just given up on the fight with my son to have his short door shut because I mean we have two kittens that will get the zoomies at 1, 2, and 3 in the morning. So like me being a parent and I'm like I don't want to listen to my son crying at 1, 2, or 3 in the morning because the cats just woke him up and because of the fact they got the zoomies, they got their claws out.
Oh my God.
So they're kittens. What do you expect? Actually, Void, no matter what time of day it is, doesn't know how not to use their claws. But I mean, when they're going full speed, like you have to expect them to have their claws out, because they have to stop on the carpet.
I was gonna say they've got to catch themselves somehow, right?
Yeah, but it's like I'm sleeping. I'm not trying to get woken up to that shit. I don't care. Like I'm sorry, I work 10-hour days. I'm going to bed. I work 10 hours, 10 hours a day. I do 2 hours of homework, and I still somehow manage to find time to spend with little asshole because he can be sometimes. But
How old is he?
he just turned 6 on the 1st.
Oh, that's a good age. That's a nice age. A lot of fun. A lot of energy, a lot of fun.
Yeah, emphasis on the energy. But no, like I'm not trying to do that. And I'm like, look, we can have the door open, but the moment I only need one complaint of you telling me that the cats woke you up and that door shut. And there's not going to be an argument. There's not going to be a discussion. And he keeps on saying, okay. So.
Okay, huh? Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, you made the decision. You understand what's going to happen. All right, cool. I'm just waiting for the cats to get the zoomies. Because it's going to happen. And then he's going to find out why the door's been closed. He's going to find out why mom and dad's door is closed every single night. You know, because of the fact that the cat, when we first got him, we didn't do that. And then we found out very quickly that we need to. Because then after they get the zoomies, then Void will start making biscuits on my wife, and then Rune will make biscuits on me.
Biscuits? Kneading? Like,
you know, I just found out what biscuits means like a year ago, and people are shocked that it's like, it's been a thing this whole time. I had no idea. I thought like people were actually talking about like, you know, making biscuits, but no.
Oh, it was so funny. A couple of...
You got some skilled dads.
I'm saying a couple of days ago. This could have been a couple weeks ago or like a month or so ago. I don't know. But Rune was making biscuits on me one morning because, I mean, when my son comes in, he just leaves our door open. Whatever, you know, it's time to wake up. So Rune comes up and starts making biscuits on me. And I'm like, hold on, dude. Are you like, and because I was sitting there bored. Oh, it was a weekend. I actually had the day off. Because I was like, "Are you making what kind of biscuits are you making, buddy?" And he just like looks at me, gives me the cute cat face, you know. And then I'm like, "Are you making the Texas Roadhouse biscuits?" And he starts making them faster and harder. And I was like, "What about the Red Lobster bacon cheddar biscuits?" And he stopped. I'm like, "Okay, we're going with Texas Roadhouse. All right, bet." And then he just kept on going. I was like, "That's fantastic. He knows what he knows good buns. He knows how to knead that dough."
Oh God! Now I'm having a flash of the cat in a little apron with flour all over it, going. By the way, it looks like Earl, he was able to get out of a last-minute engagement, and he'll be joining us. Earl Williams. We kind of call him on, Katie, we kind of call him on here the book guy because he's always got a book suggestion for something. Like always. This dude always has a book suggestion. So yeah, doesn't matter the topic. He's always got one. You're going to love him. He's really fun. He's a Sag, but he's a quiet Sag.
What are you, Alicia?
Yes.
You're not Virgo.
God, no.
I would have to guess.
You've known me for a while, off and on.
I mean,
give it a wild stab. Don't worry about it.
I would have not a Capricorn.
Nope. That's my dad. My dad's a Cappy. But keep in mind, he raised me since I was 7, pretty much by himself. So a lot of that energy did brush off on me. And my South Node is in Capricorn. So I kind of come into things with more of a Cappy vibe. But go ahead. And hold on. Here is Earl. Hey, Earl. What's up, homie? I'm digging the light show.
Hey, good evening, everyone.
Hey.
Привет.
Can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, you're filtering
I had
in
to go
and
over to Facebook and mute.
Okay. I was going to say, you're filtering in and out a little bit. Katie was just about to guess my sign. All right, Katie, go for it.
Libra.
That's interesting. No, I'm the other Venus ruled. I'm Taurus.
Oh, okay.
I'm Taurus with
That's interesting because you don't really strike me as a Taurus.
You have to get to know me really well. I've got a Virgo rising and a Leo moon. So
I have a question for you then. What causes you? So like every time I'm in your presence, I just want to like burst open and cry. What is that?
Oh, that would be called, I'm an empath and a light worker, and people do that to me all the time.
Okay.
No, it used to happen even when I would work at Spencer's. I had a job there for a while, the one in Merle Hay. Yeah.
Oh.
And I liked it outside of the back part. I wasn't comfortable with that, but I liked all the mystical stuff. But no, people would just come up to me and they would start spilling their entire lives and everything. And I'm like, it's a really good thing I'm not an undercover cop. They're like, oh, you could never be. We trust you with everything. I'm like, you really should not do that to strangers. So, okay, I always wondered what it was with you, Katie, because you always felt a little bit like this. You'd be there for just a little bit and you're like, oh, look,
Well,
Katie, anything you want to say to me is fine. Okay?
no, I know, but like,
I've heard
I
literally.
also am not like a fan of crying in public.
Oh, neither am I.
I don't know how to shut that down once it starts.
Oh,
So
God,
I choose to just shove it down but I also, I'm used to people acting that way around me. I guess I'm not particularly used to being around someone that has that same effect.
I tell you what, one of these days I'll make sure all the doors are shut. You can walk in and we'll hold each other and we'll just cry.
I forgot who did the reading on me the other night.
Cass, Kasumi, or Thor.
Yes.
They were going to be here, but they're just completely drained. They're having a bad fibro too.
What an experience. Very eye-opening. It's the first time ever that Reiki willingly stepped aside before I knew what was happening.
Really?
Yeah, that's the first time. I mean, I had a feeling what was happening. I've never actually felt that separation before, but like when I walked through the threshold, I could feel there was stuff up, and I could feel that Reiki just kind of hovered by the doorway. And I was really cold the whole time, but it was still a really, really interesting experience.
Okay. Well, good.
Cool.
Was it a good one? Was it a
Yes,
positive
absolutely. 100%.
I'm glad. Kasumi has a really interesting way about them. They are an energy vampire, and I know they told you about that. But they are exploring only the positive ways of doing things. Boy, I got a story for you guys, but that's for later. But it's really interesting because what they can do while they're talking to you is they basically just comb everything out of you. They comb it all out of you, almost like a cat clawing sand or something.
Mm-hmm.
And they comb all these issues out. And you end up feeling a lot lighter afterward.
Yes.
They're a Cancer. And one of my other Cancerian friends, whenever I'm really having a bad emotional flare, for whatever reason, it's that little ocean calm that just washes right over me. Just, okay, I feel better. I don't even know what I was worried about. I know for a fact she is not a vamp, but she has that same ocean kind of. Oh yeah, I'm not feeling bad anymore. Now you want some food? Yeah, let's go get some food. That's the entirety of it.
I think it's funny how like half of me is Cancer, but it's like I am so unattached to like emotions and shit that like I come off as extremely blunt, but at the same time, I mean, yes, I am extremely blunt with the way I say shit, but it's like I don't have time to go through all this other bullshit. We're just going to cut straight to the point. Fuck it. But at the same time, I kind of look at that as like the Gemini side of me.
You've never heard me go off yet.
I haven't gone off on anything yet.
You and Sag, baby. We all know. We all know Sag is going to be like, wah!
I have a very long negative track record with Cancers. It's one sign that I just distrust with every fiber of my being. I can't trust myself around them. I can't trust them.
Interesting.
Every single one has broken my heart.
Oof. See, for
That's how
me,
I feel
it's
with Libras.
interesting. Because for me, with Cancerians, I have to be very careful. I have no interest in romance, but it's like they're a shiny pebble, and I want to pick them up and put them in the jar and put them on a shelf. I don't know what it is, but
if you get me in a room with a male Cancer, I will probably just fall head over heels.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Well, then there's something in them that you need. You just got to figure out what it is.
Well, I took a second look at my chart, and my vertex is in Cancer.
Now, explain what a vertex is.
I haven't been able to find very much about it, but what I have been able to find is that it's a fated outcome, or you're fated to have certain experiences with a particular energy. With this case, it happens to be Cancer, and the really uncanny thing is, with degrees in astrology, you can sometimes tell when something may happen. Like it may indicate an age or a month. Every Cancer that's broken my heart, I've met them all in May.
Really?
And my vertex is in 5 degrees.
All right. You know, that's really, really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
After you had mentioned the vertexes to me, I went ahead and I dug around and I looked them up. I love it. I'm going to do a whole episode on them. Well, not a psychic roundtable, but a caffeinated astrology. Because I love them. They are so interesting. And they help things make a little more sense. Kind of like when I found out about the nodes. Everything made a little bit more sense. For those who don't know, your north and your south node, they govern pretty much whatever sign your south node is in. That's what you came into this life already knowing. You've already had all of that going. Whereas your north node is what you came in to be. That's what you came in to experience here and now. So my south is in Capricorn. My north is in Cancer. I came here to be all about family, to learn family dynamics, what it is like in a family, and to really, be a mother, community, all that kind of stuff. That's where I came in to be.
I really wish someone had explained it that way to me, because I found a book on nodes once, and I read the description of my north node, and I swear it made me want to kill myself.
What's your north node in?
I can't remember. I want to say Libra, but the description in the book basically said that basically all my entire life, this incarnation, I will make others successful, but I will never be successful myself.
Burn that astrology book. Burn it.
Oh my God, it was horrible.
That's okay. Sylvia Brown did an astrology book. Actually, I read 2 pages in.
I was literally suicidal after that.
Oh no! With a Libra North node, if you have Libra North, then what that means, your whole life purpose is to find balance, and you're also going to be a hopeless romantic, and maybe a little shoppy. But other than that,
And speaking of books, there, dear, I picked up a new one.
Yay! I love books.
I was down in Cedar Rapids, and I stopped in at Illuminations.
Okay, and everyday psychic. Oh yes, okay. Message me that in the private chat so I can copy paste it into the thing, because I'm going to need to pick up a copy of that myself.
Okay, and that's who it's by.
Everyday.
Oh, I have some of her books on like animal lore. I think they're actually good. Yep.
I saw this one and I'm like, okay, this is perfect for our discussions. It's like, I had to get it.
As a matter of fact, talk amongst yourselves, because you know what? I'm going to go to Amazon and look that book up. Oh, hey, hold on just a second. We got a viewer from YouTube. By the way, Earl, since you've been gone, we've actually switched over. A lot more people have been talking through YouTube than Facebook, which is interesting. Okay. Sharon, hi everyone. Love from the UK. Hi, Sharon. I'm glad we're reaching you.
Sharon.
Random question. What part of the UK?
Exactly, Sharon. What part? We are curious to know. Well, she gave us a lot of hearts, bro. So, wherever it is, must be a very happy place.
Hold on. So I'm just going to go off of this for a second. If it's England, what's your team?
What?
Actually, it's UK anyway. So what's your team? Like,
yeah,
this is going to bring up some controversy, but I don't care, because I actually have history behind why I like my team.
You have a team?
Chelsea FC.
Really?
Yes. My hat's not around. My hat that I wear all the time is literally Chelsea FC. I have a jersey that I wear on game days.
Oh my goodness, she's from Liverpool. Good job, Welso.
I'm sorry.
Oh, hold on. Oh, Liverpool FC.
Yep.
Dennis, hopefully not that dreary Northern Ireland. Hey, don't talk smack about that. My mom wants to go back there. Hold on. Dennis, are you related in any way to the Beatles? Oh, Dennis. Not everybody from England is related to the Beatles.
No, so actually I found out, and I found this out recently too, that Stamford Bridge, there was a battle, and it was one of the last known Vikings that ended up dying there. A lone berserker held off the army, or the royal army, one of the royal armies. I mean, it was the Christians essentially, held them off until his army could assemble behind him, and then after he fell, then the army was ready. They ended up, I mean, don't get me wrong, the heathens ended up losing, but
Sharon,
out of the 5,000 Christians that they killed, they lost, or the Vikings ended up losing like 6,000 to 8,000 men. Or I mean, the records are kind of iffy, but I mean, they still killed 5,000. It was heavy casualties on both sides.
A lot of lost
So,
lives.
you know,
See, this is why I love business. We could have just sat down and had a chat and traded some cows.
well, I mean, in fairness,
sheep, ale, whatever.
no, it's not their land. It was the heathens' land. It was just in the possession of the others.
But we still could have sat down and made a skilled negotiating trade.
It probably tried happening first, like, hey, give us this money, or give us this wealth of whatever you have, and then we'll be cool, you know. But they weren't going for it, and then that's when axes and swords and shit like that were.
But they could have done the whole poison their wells with some weird herb that only they knew about, and then been like, "We will sell you the antidote if you sell us back our land." That's what I meant.
I'm not trying to buy my own land back.
I know, but it's called a trick, bait and switch.
Why trick somebody when you can just kill them?
Because tricking leads to less loss of life.
Well, I mean, fair, but don't take my land.
It's fun.
Don't take my land that I'm seeing for the first time, dude.
Wait a minute. Dennis, I thought only bovine could create other bovines. I am so lost with that comment.
So am I.
I'm lost. All right, the other Gemini on the program, we're going to need you to translate Dennis's Gemini's. Dennis is just looking at the screen going, I don't even know either. I'm just done. Bloop. Okay. Well, guys, that everyday psychic self-defense, white magic for dark moments, is $14.68 on sale on Amazon right now. Normally it's $19.99, so awesome. Hold on. Dennis, the Battle of Stamford Bridge. Anybody know about that?
That's what I was just talking about.
I thought only bovines could create other bovines? What?
Yeah.
I'm still lost.
Everybody's
not gonna lie, I've only read very, very little into it.
Okay, Dennis. Amon Amarth has a song about it. Okay.
Come here.
Okay.
Come here.
All right. Well, I clearly haven't had enough coffee for this one. Go ahead.
I need more beer.
We're still not supposed to drink on the show.
I'm not drinking on the show. Why do you think I move my camera?
At least if you're going to drink, pour it in a cup. Like Katie's. Hers is not see-through. We don't know what's in her cup.
You don't even see
It's
me
not
drinking.
alcohol. I've learned my lesson.
Oh dear. Okay. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. That was insensitive of
That's
me.
okay.
I had completely forgotten that. I tell you
I
what,
have not. I have not forgotten.
dude, these last 2 months have felt like a whole year, Katie.
Yeah.
A whole year. I am just like,
Last
wow.
2 months. This last week feels like a year.
Well, just in the last 2 times I've been to your shop, I now wear malachite, and then I just bought the moldavite, obsidian, and clear quartz.
Awesome possum, and I thank you for that.
Yeah.
Sharon, me too, totally lost. Sorry, Dennis. Dennis. They sing the song is about Stamford Bridge, not bovines. Katie is not allowed to drink on the show. Yes. Hey, it would be an interesting show though, and our ratings
It very much would be.
be like, okay. Oh damn. But yeah, no. The last 2 months has been like a whole year. Somebody was talking to me about something that had happened early July before the tornado hit the shop, and I'm like, that was this year? They're like, damn, Alicia. I'm like, yeah. It's been on high velocity. How about for you guys? High velocity change path.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like we're going to change this year, and then we're just going to hit the gas in July. My guys told me July and August were going to be pretty heavy duty years, and then November, apparently I've got some changes coming up, but damn, this has been just hit the gas.
A door ripped off my toenail over retrograde.
I remember you saying that. Woof.
That was rough.
That's insane.
And then I had to change my location of my business in under 3 days. It's been crazy with the shifts.
Yeah, I get you there, Katie.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis, how are humans created? And on that note, no more of that.
Just don't get me started, please. I've already had the universe shut me down once.
Oh, God.
Don't get me started.
Well, I thought we were grown from eggs, but hey, what are you going to do?
Wait, you guys aren't lizard people?
No, we're not. No, I actually am some weird cloud of energy that kind of stepped in to a corpse and pulled it over myself and went, cool. It's not psoriasis. It's decomposition.
We're just skeletons with meat armor
Mm-hmm.
and a soul put in us.
Yeah. Dennis, be kind to your toenails. Yes. Okay, Katie, now tell me a little bit about that. How do you rip off a toenail with a door? Did you keep the door?
I was just going downstairs to use the laundry, and I opened the door, and the next thing I know, I say, ow. And my friend saw my toenail hanging, and then I tried to walk, and then I was in the emergency room over it.
Did you have like acrylic toenails on or something?
I do, yeah.
Okay. They got caught.
I think so. I do a really good job of keeping them short, so I'm really surprised that it even happened at all.
Yeah.
But it forced me, like I couldn't walk my normal pace for almost a month and a half. I had to walk slower than children. So it really forced me to literally slow down in a way that it was brutal.
No, interestingly, Matt, he couldn't be on here because his life has become just an absolute poop storm. The universe literally did that to him. The final nail in the coffin of his slow the fuck down was when the universe gave him a flat tire out of nowhere. No pump, no nothing. And I'm like, dude, you need to just take a deep. No, I can't. I want the flat tire. I'm like, okay, dude, this is a side. Okay, they literally spray painted this on a billboard with yo. And I can't say anything because I'm really bad about slowing down too.
Yeah. It takes an injury to slow me down. That is the reality of my life.
That is weird. Almost all earth signs are the same way. They just keep plowing ahead no matter what. Matt's a Capricorn, you're a Virgo. I'm a Taurus. I've got a Capricorn dad and a Virgo mom. And I've been able to see it up close, and I've known plenty of Taurians in my life. It takes so much to stop an earth sign, to sit them down and say, look, you can't do this. They're like, I'm doing it no matter what. Okay. You know.
See,
Yeah, my moon's in Capricorn, and I'm pretty much the same way.
Just go. Well, look at Nicole. Poor Nicole. She dumped over on the concrete, dislocated her shoulder, and she's still going. She's like, I can't slow down. I'm like,
so the previous time I was in the shop, she just like got out of the emergency room or something, and then she looked worse. The most recent. So did she get hurt again?
no. Well, okay. Basically, what happened is she had to go back to work at the library. Now, keep in mind, she's hucking books, she's shelving them, she's cleaning floors, she's going and going and going. And I'm like, baby, you need to just stay. You got to rest. And she's like, I got to go back to work. I think I could do it. I can't dress myself. Wait, I figured out how to dress myself now. And then I said, dude, you got to slow down. She bends over, and apparently she almost passes out from the pain. So she may have remessed something up. She's going in and out for MRIs and everything. They don't know what's going on. So yeah. And get this, you guys are going to love this. Now she's in a brace. She can't move her left arm, but the workman's comp cleared her to drive.
What?
Yes. She's not going to. I just told her, look, anywhere you need, just talk to me, okay? I will Uber you. I will do anything, please. Don't
I hate
die.
to be Karen, but someone needs to get fired.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, they're real buttholes with her, and I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, she's being a tourist. She's just going to keep going. And I'm like, one of these days I'm going to shoot you up with an elephant tranquilizer because nothing to put her to sleep. Nothing works. She metabolizes pain medication like that. Nothing works. She's taken straight up valerian root, and she's like, it just makes me loopy.
So the only thing that worked for me is quetiapine, which is Seroquel, because that will knock you on your ass.
is she a redhead?
No. She's not a ginger. Hold on, Dennis. Just like lizard people, my toenails grow back. Sharon, no, ouch. Sharon, I'm a Aquarius. I don't know much about my sign. Well, Aquarians, they are absolutely wonderful people, but they're kind of timeless. And they're very, very, very intelligent, but they kind of have that past, future, present quality all wrapped into one, almost kind of like a bouncing crystal ball. They say if zodiac signs were ages, that Aquarius would be your old retired folk that they've lived through everything and they just don't care what anybody thinks of them. They're just kind of doing their own thing. They're off on their own path, and they absolutely love to travel.
My ex was an
Every
Aquarius.
Aquarius that I've ever known has, well, they have a very different personality.
They're direct.
Yeah, they're direct, and they're extremely inventive and clever.
They are inventive and clever, but they are very much, it's hard to teach an Aquarian because they have their own way of processing everything. They're incredibly smart, and they're also a fixed sign, so you can't tell them nothing. But they're incredibly, I say that as a fellow fixed sign, okay? But they're incredibly smart, but their perspective, their way of processing everything is just completely different. They're amazing. When you sit down and talk to one, and especially the overly chatty ones, like my friend Jen, you'll talk to her and she's going at such high speed. Most people they turn off and they walk away from her. But I sat there and I listened to everything she was saying, and I realized she's almost 100% correct. She's very, very smart. She's just got a completely different way of communicating, which is really nifty when you actually take the time to get to know it, you know?
one of my, I don't like saying my moon or rising sign, but one of those two is Aquarius for me.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're a double major to both air signs. That's a lot of air. So you should be very, very, very smart. What's your IQ, Welso?
I think it's like 107.
Interesting.
And my ex was an Aquarius.
I have, look, I'm an intelligent person. I just have moments that I'm a complete dumbass.
Oh, don't worry. That happens to everybody. It's all of us. We're just like,
But the moments of me being a complete dumbass are at the times where like any intelligent person would be like, you know what, we should probably not do this. But I'm like, hold on. We got to figure out exactly why we shouldn't though.
Yup.
100% certainty.
Hold on. Dennis, there was one time when I had an ingrown toenail and it took me about 3 months to get it taken care of after ripping out my toenail a couple times. That's going to make me throw up, Dennis. Okay. Nicole doesn't sleep, Katie. That's why she may have looked worse. Yeah, that's a whole nother issue. Sharon. Oh, wow. Sharon. Yes, that's me. Sharon. Am so chatty. Christina.
If I could
Hi,
describe
everyone. Hi, Christina.
an archetype for Aquarius, I think I would describe them as a MacGyver.
I don't know about that one.
Matrix. Matrix.
Jen speaks at airside speed. Yes, she does. Oh, Dennis McCullough. Pisces can't be told anything either. Oh,
This is true.
Actually, no, I will tell you. But every Pisces I've ever had discussions with where they ask me stuff or things like that, they just have to put it into their own vernacular. So I can say something, but they have to relate it to something with them.
Yeah, and that can come across as us acting as though we're know-it-alls.
See, I think my brother's is a Pisces.
When's his birthday?
March 5th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, growing up with him, I mean, he was too intelligent for his age, which kind of makes sense because now he's a software engineer. But like,
yeah,
he was definitely too intelligent to have a little brother because, like, especially a little brother that's me, because like he would explain shit to me, and I'm like, okay, but I mean, first of all, one, I don't believe you. Second of all, how the fuck are you gonna know some shit that you haven't done?
That is like such a Gemini thing to say. Oh my God. You've got to realize my son is a Pisces and my husband is a Gemini. And the thing is, Pisces, they just intuit stuff. They're out there hanging out in the ether and they're like, oh yeah, no, I know that. And you're like, oh shit, you do know that. Okay. That is one thing I've learned by watching him and a couple of my other Pisces pals. You think they're completely out in the ozone, and they're still paying attention.
Yeah, and they're like always like, I mean, he was, I mean, until he got around his like actual friends and shit. I mean, he was pretty quiet and all that, and like didn't really like talking to people.
Yeah.
But like, if you could manage to actually have a conversation with him and like have a legitimate conversation with him, then you're like, okay, yeah, you know some shit. I don't know how the hell you know this, but you clearly know it.
I know, right?
It's like, cause like, and that's the funny thing is like my brother and I, like I mean, growing up, we have a very similar childhood because of the fact, we grew up in the same house, but then like we have completely different perspectives of it because he's the type of person, he could read something in a book and be like, "Yep, that's fucked up." I have to do it 5 or 6 times before I realize, "Oh, yep, that's fucked up." So, I mean, you got to change variables, dude. You can't do the same thing over and over. That's what an insane person does. You do the same thing over and over and change slightly different things. Then you're a scientist. You're no longer crazy. You're a scientist.
So glad I don't have a Gemini child. Okay.
I would really like to know how many siblings there are that are made up of a Pisces and a Gemini, because I know so many. My brother is a Gemini.
Well, if I ever have another kid, I'm going to make sure, if I can, to make sure it's not an air sign, because I don't think I can handle having 2 air signs in the house. One of them's going to have to go, and it's going to be my husband. It's going to be like, ow, I need my sanity.
Christina, it is sanity. It's just different.
I know, and I need my sanity. Okay? I'm going to make him sleep on the roof. Anyways, Christina, I'm a Capricorn. Awesome. Sharon, she's laughing so hard she's crying. Christina, ouch, Dennis. Sharon, hi, Christina. Dennis, now, and this, he makes a good point. There is a quantifier to each Western zodiac sign. When were you guys born? Because your Chinese sign actually has a lot to do with it. has a lot to do with how you see the world.
97.
Is that why he always like starts with that and then your sign? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The East-West zodiac, East-West astrology is amazing if you do it right. A lot of the books get it wrong. I will tell you that. I grew up
telling me a
around.
book can be wrong?
I'm not even going to do the dance with you. Well, so
Is the next thing you tell is the next thing you tell me that everything you read on the internet is wrong?
Get out of the chat, Wilson. Anyway, what years were people born in? Christina, hi, Sharon. Dennis, my son is a Pisces. Hold on, Sharon. I can't bear unkind people. I'm a big protector for people I love. Yep, and that's also an Aquarian thing. Friend to everyone. Christina, my daughter is a Cancer. Oh, interesting. You have complementary opposites going there, my dear. Oh, dear. Dennis, Katie, run. There's a cat in your house. Hold on. Christina, I know who Earl is, but who is everyone else? I'm coming in late. Okay, give me one second here. Dennis, so true, Welso. That is how science works. Oh, dear. Dennis, I know what I must do. We need to make another air signs for the house. Hell no. Dennis, I can go back to the BCs for the Chinese zodiac here. Yes, yes, he can. If anything,
I don't think anybody is in the BCs in this life.
I know, right? Okay.
No.
All right. So Christina, lovely Christina. Everybody, you got to introduce yourself for Christina. She is amazing.
Yep.
I'm Welso.
She's a good
I'm a Jarl and other things of Shining Ram Kindred.
Norse Pagan.
Norse Pagan, yep.
And electrician.
I am also an electrician. It's weird saying that because it's like,
you better get in quick. The Gemini's going to keep going. Go.
I am Pisces as fuck. A fire snake. Let's see. I follow a very traditional Wiccan path, which is different than sort of the generic Wicca that people sort of think of. I've been a witch for about 30 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And I am working on one of several books that I'm writing about the craft in one form or another.
And also, Wade is a pagan blogger, correct? You have a blog, don't you?
Now and then. It's sort of inactive at the moment, but I am working on a website. I'm building it from the HTML up because I miss those old school 90s websites. And modern websites now are just ugly to me.
Dude, I think y'all know that my website provider decided to crash on me. And so I've had to rebuild it all year through Wix. I was originally very resistant, but Larissa, the past life hypnotherapist, she actually was the one to help walk me through my beginning portion of it. Then she had family trouble and had to leave. But I'm actually pretty impressed. 10 years has done a lot of good stuff for Wix. But yeah, it's been horrible. I hate it. Have I mentioned how much I hate it? Anyway. Katie.
I'm Katie. I'm a massage therapist. I've been doing massage therapy for 11 years. And I'm a Reiki level 3 practitioner. And I've been doing Reiki for 10 years. Yeah, that sounds right. I do oracle readings, and I do them with several decks at a time, and it makes it way more fun and very interesting. I've learned that you can't just use one deck.
Some people can, but it is more. It's better when they talk to each other.
It is. Let's see here. Do a lot of energy work. I work with tuning forks. I do a lot of sound baths.
Okay.
That's my favorite thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Katie, would you be willing? I've got Des Moines New Age Radio Spotify channel, and I'm working on some projects of videos actually showcasing some of the stuff that people do. Would you be willing to do a demonstration of a sound bath? You could just do it from your own home, but do a sound bath demo video.
I could do that.
Awesome, possum. Okay.
Christina knows me.
Mm-hmm.
But for the other two who don't, basically I am the founder and owner and host of the Pagan Artist Spotlight podcast. I'm also the Midwest rep for the Today's Witch magazine, which is a brand new magazine that we already have in stores. Let's see. I think the last count, we have it in over 250 stores nationwide right now.
Awesome.
I've never heard of that magazine. Hold on.
Yep. So you can look it up at todayswitch.net. And then myself, I'm planning a podcasters conference. We're up here in Waterloo, or actually Cedar Falls, for next October.
Well, count me in.
Yep, that's called the Midwest Podcasters Conference, and that's going to be October 2nd and 3rd next year.
I was going to say next year, right? It's
Right.
a little bit close right now. Okay.
What was the website again? Todayswitch.net?
Yeah, todayswitch.net.
Hey, Earl, why don't you message it to me in the private chat or put it on the chat line so everybody can find it, even when they don't want to listen to the entire podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Earl hates it when I do this. He's just like, I don't want to have to. Well, guess what? Yeah, too bad. Make it accessible for everybody. Okay,
By
hold
the
on.
way, I got like 10 minutes before I got to hop off.
Oh, well, fine. Well, so I guess you only work 10-hour days. I don't see why.
Yeah, outside. It's fun.
I know, but I would figure if you were working outside, you'd be more tan.
Oh,
I figure you'd be rivaling Katie. No, Katie, put your arm up. No, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, see, she's still more tan than you.
yeah. Well, so here's the thing. It's just my arms.
I'm so jealous.
Like, I am still, bro, I'm still wearing gloves. Like,
Dang. Oh my God, never mind. You are taking a tan. Holy cow. That's awesome. Wait, Wade, you can't tan?
No, I'm ginger.
Ooh. So in other words, you rock tomato or toast.
I stand next to a window and I burst into flames.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
So you're a vampire, really. You just haven't told us that. Tell us you're a vampire without telling us you're a vampire. All right, hold on.
Oh, and I forgot to mention that, with being Sag, my birthday falls on Turkey Day this year.
Nice. So you're having turkey for your birthday dinner?
No.
Are you having a turkey-shaped cake?
No, basically, I'll make seafood.
Really? Seafood?
Uh-huh.
That's good.
Yeah, it actually does. It just surprises me. Hold on. Copy. Okay.
Spock, come here.
All right. Here's the rest of the comments. Here we go. Hold on. It's okay. Thor's an electrician. Sharon, that is so amazing.
That's
Dennis.
funny.
Dennis,
Here.
the last year the fire snake was 1967.
That's the year I was born, 67.
Really?
Really? I could have sworn I was born in the year of the fire snake.
All right, Dennis, what year was he born in? Believe it or not, he's kind of a savant when it comes to calculating. I do the interpretation of the signs and the elements, but he's the calculator. He's amazing at it. Hold on. Christina, that's really cool. Dennis, you were very resistant to Wix. Yes. You know what? It's been a huge learning curve. Dennis, you're resistant to change in general. Okay, I want you to read up on Taurus. We're going to go back and you're going to read Taurus one more time. All right, you're going to read it and then you're going to understand.
I know that one.
All right.
Oh, and if it wasn't clear from our reaction, I was not born in 67.
Okay. Sharon, so incredible. Christina, hi, Earl. Didymus. Well, hello, Didymus. We have a new peoples. I am Gemini and my brother is Pisces.
Yeah, I see that all the time.
Okay,
It's weird.
Okay, so what you guys are all telling me is if anything happens, I need to take a lot of birth control, like 9 months before Gemini. You got it. Okay. I cannot handle that. Okay, I cannot. No, no. All
We
right.
keep you on your toes.
No. A married one, all right? And he's on the cusp of Taurus, the cusp of energy, and he's a horse. That's like a double Gemini. Jesus. I think I
see
hated
nothing
myself.
wrong.
I hated
I
myself.
see nothing wrong.
Oh my God. And they like to argue. They like to argue, which anyway,
It's
Christina.
not an argument when you're wrong.
Yes, you're right. He is wrong. Thank you, Welso. I will tell him that. Hear that, Dennis? Anyway, Chris, oh, he just laughed. He just, yeah, I think he's going to fall out of his chair laughing. Anyway, Christina, cool. Sharon, that's so amazing with a kitty and hearts. Dennis, keep the sound bath PG, Katie. I don't want to worry nudity just yet. Okay, you know what? Nudity would mean our ratings skyrocket, but that's the other channel we actually make money on.
I better get my cut. That's all I gotta say.
Don't worry, baby. We get you your cut. We're gonna have Wade doing his side hustle on there too. Yeah, Wade. Yeah, that's right. Bearded
only,
ginger.
only in the circle.
Okay. Well, we can throw a circle around you. It's all good. All right. Christina, incredible. And then, hold on. Dennis, it is interesting that both of the ladies are Latinas. Oh, dear. On the cast, we're both Latin. Oh, Katie, did I ever tell you? For my Day of the Dead fair, somebody actually accused me of being a bad Latina.
I got called a bad witch about a week and a half ago, and I'll tell you what, I was super fucking offended when they said it.
Oh my God. Some days you just kind of look at people and go, really?
Well, I don't even think she realizes what that means, so I think she just said it to say it.
No.
Yeah, but bad in what way?
I actually had people doubting I was Latin at all.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
I just think it's funny as hell. Because I don't make it a thing. It's not a thing for me. But when I started doing the Day of the Dead fair, and that was mostly about my son because he got into it. That little kid went nuts over it. And so I was like, okay, let's explore some of my roots. I have had so much shit over that. You're not really a Latin. I'm like, think what you want, homie. I got to go.
People speak Spanish to me, and I have to say, no hablo español.
Oh, yeah. That's great. That's awesome. Actually, one of my passed away grandma's requests was that I teach Arthur how to speak Spanish.
Oh.
I don't know how. I'm just like, dude, my dad raised me. I don't know. My dad's last name is Paul. You know, we're American. We have no clue. You know, I actually know more Japanese than I do Spanish. And my Japanese auntie, you know, kind of the chick that stepped in and helped out with me, she knows more Spanish than she does Japanese, which is really just awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, my knowledge of Spanish my limit of Spanish is basically all the things you really can't say in polite society.
Oh, wait.
All the fun stuff.
I mean, in fairness, if you work in food service,
yeah, that's
or construction, it is very useful, especially when a dumbass almost hits you. But you know that's, or they're looking at you after they come up to you, ask you what you're doing, and then you tell them, and then they look at you with a blank stare on their face. That's when you can start saying things in Spanish. I almost started going into it. I'm not gonna lie.
Damn. Okay, Dennis, it's easier to eat food that you can see. Christina, that's better than turkey. Okay, Dennis, my brother is a Sagittarius. And Judy Zeitz, I'm Leo Woodpig. Dennis, it is 9 months till Gemini now. Well then, bedroom door is officially closed, honey. Okay, let's see. Dennis, I speak more Espanol than both of the Latinas. It's probably true, honest to God. I was really impressed. Dennis jumped on the bandwagon once he heard from Grandma Connie, and he started teaching himself Spanish. I'm kind of slacking on that with the kiddo. Love the kiddo, love Grandma Connie and all that, but yeah. Hold on. Christina, I don't speak a word of Spanish and I'm Latina. Thank you, Christina.
I speak more Russian than I do Spanish.
Exactly. See. But then again, you are Russian by descent, babe.
Not even by descent. I was born there.
By descent and by birthplace. Oh,
Yeah.
Do you have any Russian lullabies that you know?
No.
Darn it, that would be so cool.
I know about Baba Yaga though.
Yeah, that's
not
a
just
nasty
John
one.
Wick.
I have a huge book on Baba Yaga downstairs. It's a great hardback, a collection of her tales. God, when the book arrived, it smelled just like almonds and cherries.
I can't wait to have my own kid that I'll be able to tell stories to when they're infants, and then they have to sit there and listen to these tales. Because I mean, I've tried.
Oh, you don't. Yeah, I can tell you haven't had a full baby yet because they ain't gonna sit there and listen to shit. They're gonna be like,
Yeah, exactly. But I can sit there and that'll be bedtime stories. It's like, because I've tried reading them to. I mean, he's my stepson, but he's my son. But I've tried reading out of the Edda
Welso.
to him, and he's too young at the moment. But like when you grow up with those stories, or like I mean, because most of them, honestly, I just pull out of my brain because I know them. But like
Homie,
I
I
can
hate to
make it
disappoint
fun.
you. I hate to break your heart, but I'm gonna break yours just like mine was broken when I had my kid. My biggest thing was, oh my God, I'm gonna breastfeed and I'm gonna read him bedtime stories about. Yeah, guess what? You know when he started wanting bedtime stories? About a year ago. He's 8. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. See, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
You're gonna have to tape that child down and be like, you are listening to this, and I don't care.
See, the thing is, though,
don't do that.
yeah, I was about to say, like,
Don't do that. Nope. No, don't do it. Dennis, I'm turning into a minuscule polyglot.
That's what that says. I couldn't read it, but I was like, what is it?
I know, right? A polyglot. I know some Espanol, Nippon, Deutsch, and English. Christina, ha ha ha.
You know, I've been surprised by how useful studying French in high school has been for me as a pagan
Really?
and a researcher, because it's allowed me to translate old articles in academic journals or even books that are published with French articles in them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I can kind of remember how to read some French. I really just know how to say shit and bathroom. And that and I don't know.
Okay.
I do enjoy learning how to say I don't know in different languages, because if somebody wants to come up to me and like start talking to me in a different language, and if I know that language, I can just consistently repeat I don't know. Because in fairness, I don't know what the fuck you're saying to me.
Oh, there you go.
It's about like me being able to actually sing Dulaman in Gaelic.
Yes, hi babies.
Okay, so you gonna do this on air or what? We going or what? Come on, Earl.
No, not tonight.
Come on. Buy you a beer afterwards. I mean, I'm gonna PayPal you the money to go get your own beer, but hey.
Say, Welso, if you ever want to research Baba Yaga in a broader context, I would recommend this book.
I can't
hold
see
on.
that.
Is it
The Living Goddess?
Yeah, The Living Goddesses by Mariji Kabutas.
Spell that.
Marija space Gimbutas.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming she's Russian.
Lithuanian.
Lithuania.
Okay.
It's actually pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
This is Rune.
Rune?
Yep. He my little babby. He's my familiar. He's doing something with his ear right now. Oh, okay. He literally just sat here and twitched his ears until I started petting his head.
Mm. Cats are such divas.
They really are. But, hey, they're furry. And they used to be
Mhm.
tigers.
Oh wait, he got into catnip earlier. That's why he's doing that.
Dude,
Well,
cat.
we got these little like mouse toys that are literally made of catnip, and they'll hit it under something for a while, and then they'll find it.
And then they'll be like, wee.
Yeah.
I think lavender has the same effect as catnip on cats and
Really?
lions.
Huh. Interesting.
Dude, I would love to give a lion catnip.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my oh, God, Legion of Chaos. Dude, I like
Can't
drinking
help it.
catnip tea before bed because it helps me sleep.
Wait, hold on. Think about drinking mead before giving a lion catnip. That would be fun.
That could be interesting. No. Hold on. Dennis, poulet is French for chicken. Polo is Spanish for chicken. Dennis, Welso, run. There's a crazed cat on your lap. Very true. Very true. But the cat's pretty cuddly.
He's mine. He's literally been sitting here purring this entire time.
Aw.
Like,
Well,
he's sleepy boy.
I was gonna say he's giving off some serious anti-anxiety vibes, and I'm not a cat person at all. Damn.
He's my familiar, man.
Okay, serious chill vibes from that cat. I think it hit Katie because she just like, what?
I love cats. It's a very chill cat.
Mm-hmm.
My cats are usually around, but I'm imagining this conversation has been messing with their energy.
Yeah. No, so it's funny. When we first got him, and he was tiny, he's part Maine Coon, so he has gotten significantly larger in a very short period of time. But so like when we first got him, he like just like a kitten would, he would look at the stairs, Lapoy, and then my wife was like, I'm tired of having the litter box on the main floor, put it downstairs. And I was like, Rune's not going to like that. And she was like, I don't care. I don't want the litter box here anymore. So I moved it downstairs. And then in the morning, she came downstairs when she was getting ready for work and saw that he had pooed right on her spot of the couch.
That is awesome.
And it was funny because she all I hear was, Rune, you fucking dick.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what happened? And she was like, he shit on the couch. And then I was like, after a while, I was like, so what spot on the couch did you shit? She was like, it was fucking mine. I was like, yeah.
Oh,
I was trying not to laugh, and she's like, it's not funny. I'm like,
oh, damn. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, damn. Do you have cats, Wade?
I don't know. I'm much more of a dog person. I used to have dogs, and I miss them terribly.
I always wanted to get a dog, but I just know I couldn't keep up the maintenance. I just, like, cat, dog, anything. I'm just not. I was worried I wouldn't be able to maintain a kid, but I've done pretty well with that. So,
Oh, my Abby was just the best dog ever. It's like She would
What
just
kind
look
of
at us, and we knew exactly what she wanted.
What kind of
She
dog? was it?
would come up to me and lick my face whenever I was crying at a sad movie, and she'd put her head on my shoulder.
Oh,
And I remember the year she died, just a few months before she died, I was sick in bed with a fever and a terrible cold, and she would actually push my door open with her nose to check in on me.
oh,
Hmm
that is awesome. What kind of
hmm
dog was she?
She was a mix. She was half Rottweiler and half Lab.
Hmm.
That's sweet though.
hmm
Gosh.
She actually
How-
chose us out of the litter. She actually sat on my brother's feet.
Oh wow. I'm so sorry she passed.
Hmm
That's hard. How long?
Oh, she passed in 2011.
Ouch. It's a long time to miss a critter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine's
Well, she was family.
time right now.
Dennis McCullough. My parents put the litter box in the basement near my bedroom when I was a teenager, and everyone wonders why I am nose blind to most things. Now I understand. Oh dear God, yuck. Dennis, I miss my buddy. Yeah, Dennis had a small Shih Tzu named Buddy, and yeah, that just whole long story that I will let him tell one of these days. Dennis, a Lab Ryler. There we go.
Yeah, she had the coloring of a Rottweiler, but the shape of a Lab.
Nice.
Oh, what now, Ed?
Well, I'm looking at time, and
Okay.
I have got to go because 5 a.m. comes too damn soon.
Oh, buddy, yeah, get some rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm
Alrighty.
gonna have to get off here too because I was up at 5:30 this morning.
No worries, man.
Why I don't
Yeah.
know. But, yeah.
Alrighty. Take it easy.
You too, hon. Get some rest.
Mm-hmm.
And good luck
Have
with your
fun.
studies.
Oh yeah. The point.
Yeah.
I have him trained in Russian. He actually listens to me in Russian more than my wife saying the exact same thing in English.
Oh, that's hysterical. I love that.
I love it. All I have to she'll be sitting there yelling at the cats no, and I'm like niet, and then they listen to me. But
Oh,
God
that's
bless you all.
amazing.
Have a good night.
Night, hon.
Bye.
Night.
I'm gonna get out of here too, so I will get with everyone later on.
All right. Well, you take care, Earl. Thanks for dropping by. By the way, how's everything going for you? I know it was going kind of rough.
The things are picking up now, and
Good.
yeah, basically, yeah, business is picking up. Like you said, I'm planning that podcasters conference for next year. Yeah, let's see. I've got other things going on too. So yeah.
All good, I hope.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. All right, homie. Well, thanks for dropping by.
All righty. I'll get with everyone later. Hasta la vista and pleasant journeys.
Bye, hon. Well,
I'd really love to know what the hell was on his wall. That glittery wolf thing.
It's a wolf tapestry with a dream catcher, which is kind of his business symbol, logo-ish thing, and then he either had a filter or like a lamp going, a light effect, because it doesn't normally look like that.
Very cool, though.
I know, right? The red is super pretty. So what are you all releasing for Lunar Eclipse?
How to put this? It's that hurt something. It's not so much releasing things; it's more vengeance-y.
Okay, now that's interesting. Tell me what's going on there.
Oh, I was inspired to whip up a little curse on during the full moon because it like woke, for some reason every Pisces full moon, which happens to be the harvest moon, I either stay up way late or I wake up way early, hours before sunrise. And usually around that time, I'm usually very, very, very psychic. I mean, to the point that people are all like, just shut up, you're freaking me out now.
Okay.
But this time around, I woke up way early. The sun hadn't even come up yet, and I was just inspired to just jot down this sudden idea I had for a little hex for someone who wronged me in a very, very deep and personal way.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a Pisces. I can take a lot of shit, but there's that line.
Yeah.
And he didn't just cross it, he danced over it.
Okay. I was going to say, that is one interesting thing about being able to watch a Pisces up close and personal. I always thought it didn't actually matter to them. But now that I go back, Pisces hold on to things for a really long time.
Oh, God, yeah.
I was really shocked. They hold on to stuff, and there is that line where they can love you to pieces, but you do something and it completely crumbles. And it's normally not even what you say or what you do. It's the feeling that goes along with it for them.
Mm-hmm.
And they never look at you the same way.
Absolutely.
It's never the same. Even my son at 2 years old, he demonstrated that. And I'm like, what the? It was somebody that was very, very close to him. And all of a sudden one day, and I don't know what happened. I asked my guides, and they're like, it was something that was said in a tone. He took issue with it. And then after that, it's never been the same.
Mm-hmm.
And the person that did it, they don't think before they speak. So.
And I'm not really one to just, hex someone anyway. It takes something extremely devastating and personal for me to even consider expending that sort of energy.
The only time I do that kind of stuff is as a defensive measure. Only for defense, because I got too much crap going on. I'm always working and trying to do something. I ain't got time for nothing. But defensive is something completely different. Because for me, there's no reason to actually hex anyone. There is no reason. I'm so busy building my own stuff and working hard for my family and trying to do everything that it's just not a reasonable thing to me. It's all about building my own life, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I always figure, sometimes I can be vengeful, but I always figure at the end of the day, what's the best revenge? What is the best revenge in the world, guys?
Karma.
Success. Success.
I knew you were going to say that.
For them to watch you succeed without them. To know they will never be able to touch that.
Yeah.
And to know that you've forgotten their existence entirely. Come on.
So I have really bad ADHD, and I have the worst case of what is it called? I can't remember what it's called. It's like if we didn't interact occasionally, I would forget who you are, or I'd forget that you exist. I can't remember what it's called, but that is super beneficial when it comes to my cutoff game.
Yes.
But if I didn't have photos of my nieces and nephews on my fridge, I probably would forget that I have nieces and nephews.
Really?
Yeah. What is it? It's called something impermanence. What's it called? Object impermanence.
Seriously, that's
and I have it to the extreme. It's terrible. It's great for work purposes.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah,
you let everything go.
Exactly. But when it comes to my personal life and people try to have deep conversations, it's well, I'm gonna have to write this down, and I'm gonna have to read it again, and I'm gonna have to it's just because it's just so much information.
Did you get really good at journaling?
I journal every day.
That sounds really close to something else I came across years ago called aphantasia.
Okay, what's that?
Which is your inability to visualize.
Interesting.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis, amnesia, Katie. It's called amnesia. Dude, you would be great at a call center job. You just be like, like,
yeah. Yep. Nope. It has its benefits and its downfalls.
yeah. Although honestly, though, there's some stuff that I kind of wish I had that for.
Oh, for sure.
Especially on the metaphysical side of it, because
Yeah.
I could forget all the bad crap that's happened.
Well, and the thing with that is because I have so much PTSD, like it's hard to work through trauma when I don't remember the trauma. And like it would require a lot of, I think they're going to try EMDR. Is that what it's called?
Sure.
It's like rapid eye movement while you bring up your traumatic experiences, and it's supposed to like rewire your brain and help you process stuff differently.
Really?
It kind of freaks me out a little bit because I am very, very in my feelings and emotions. So I like need to learn how to like confront it and then move on with my day.
Yeah.
I would really like to learn more about that because I happen to have PTSD from my first kiss who broke my heart like years and years ago. And I still have it to this day.
Oh.
And how many years has that been?
More years than I'd like to broadcast.
Okay.
How often do you think about it?
Rather often. It's like a record that keeps skipping and playing.
Ooh. God, that's horrible.
Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it? It sucks.
Especially when you like try and have like mental conversations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really hard to have. Sometimes like I'll have conversations with people and they'll bring up a traumatic experience and my brain is trying to remember how to relate. So it'll kind of bring up bits and pieces of an experience, but not enough for me to like process. It's really weird. But yes, EMDR, I'm really excited for it, but I'm also pretty nervous just because like, what's the term? Once you open Pandora's box, you can't close it.
No, and I get both sides of that, but God, I never even thought about it that way because I mean, there's a ton of stuff I'd love to forget, honestly.
What does EMDR stand for?
Eye rapid movement. Oh man, it's a mouthful.
EMDR therapy. Here, hold on. Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. Therapy, mental health treatment technique. This method involves moving your eyes a specific way while you process traumatic memories. EMDR's goal is to help you heal from trauma or other distressing life experiences. It's one of the most effective treatments for post-traumatic stress disorder. Wow. EMDR is typically delivered 1 to 2 times per week for a total of 6 to 12 sessions. Woo.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my doctor, she's really good about making sure that I'm in a good headspace before we even start this, which is great because a lot of places will just start the treatment. So I'm really glad that she's like, hey, we have to meet like 14 times before we start this. So at least I get that chance to like build a rapport.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, well, but I'm a big one. My dad was a group therapist originally, and I'm a big one nowadays. I hate this. Doctors, anybody, they believe they can just throw somebody at the shallow end. Well, just meet this person. Well, no, actually, you have to have a rapport with them first.
Yes.
One of the biggest things they taught Dad when he was going to school, you have to build a rapport with that patient. If you don't have a rapport, move them on to the next person that they can get a rapport with. But nowadays, like dealing with my son's speech therapy, his clubfoot, everything, they don't care. It's just like move them in, move them out, move them in, move them out. We don't care, we don't care, we don't care. And it's like, dude, this is not a one size fits all.
Right.
So I wish more doctors, I wish more mental health professionals, I wish everybody had that mindset that your doctor does, Katie. Because, oh, damn. Just going, I see in some of the people go through what they go through, and They're just like, okay, well, that was a number. Good. Next. It's just that is so not helpful, in my opinion.
Right. No, you're correct.
Hold on. Here we go. Dennis. Just like a water sign, Katie, stay in your feelings. You live there for a reason.
I'm not a water sign.
I know. She's a Virgo, Dennis. She's a Virgo rabbit, for the love of God.
I'm a rabbit, man.
Yes. Well, rabbit does correspond to Pisces.
Oh, does it?
Yep.
Mm.
Hold on, Dennis McCullough. I hear that you can make a lot of money doing ASMR videos. It's a different thing. EMDR is different than ASMR, Dennis. But no, yeah. Well, and also too with that rabbit corresponding to Pisces, you also have to make sure stuff is within your control. All Pisceans, it's different how they actually show their control issues, but every Pisces I've ever met, control issues. They have to have their hands on the wheel, whether that's over organization, anything. So I don't know. I guess is there
we have to do things our way.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Is there, Katie, I mean, with your doctors, do you feel like you have control with the situation?
Actually, I feel like I can relax and let her be in charge.
Awesome.
It's a very rare thing. Very, very rare thing.
That's rare. Yeah.
It is very rare. Oh, I was going to say, so for this eclipse, or I guess really since the retrograde, but I've been getting.
Wait, which retrograde? We've had like 6 of them. Which retrograde?
Had to have been the Mercury retrograde within the last 2 months because it was when the door ripped off my toenail.
Okay, Mercury
But
retrograde.
like within probably the last 3 weeks, more and more of my friends have been like telling on themselves and like being really obvious with their red flags to the point where I'm learning that it doesn't align with my morals and my values. So I've been having to let go of a lot of people. And that's usually not an issue, but I'm not training right now. So I don't have that proper outlet, which drives me nuts.
Training. What do you mean by training?
I do jujitsu, Muay Thai. I just started judo and MMA.
Goodness.
Oh, fun.
And I do Tai Chi, but I don't know if I consider that a martial arts, but I do consider it you need to slow the fuck down and balance yourself.
I've actually always wanted to take up either Tai Chi or Qigong.
I did a class with both. It is, if you don't have an issue with making noises, like you have to be very comfortable with your voice, and that was really tough for me. That's why the Tai Chi was easy for me, because I was able to like just be quiet and do the movement. But the Qigong it requires you to use your voice.
Really?
Yes.
Now that I did not know. I just looked at it for the energy channeling idea and kind of the meditative thing, basically to get my stress level under control is what I'm trying to do. So
I've always been a fan of that Brazilian dance fighting. It's so graceful the way they do that.
Capoeira?
I think so.
Capoeira? Okay. Dennis, Alicia has to do everything her way too. Well, again, look under the Taurus thing. Jesus, Dennis. It's like you don't know astrology at all. Dennis, you laugh, but it's true. Your life would be a lot easier if you listened once in a while. I do listen. I listen and I weigh everything very studiously, and I take everything into account, and I think everything through very logically and practically and pragmatically. And then I go with whatever way I can live with the easiest. Because in the end,
that sounds kind of like a headache.
Well, but it is what I have to do.
Yeah, but that sounds stressful.
In the end, I'm going to be the one that pays the price for my life. So I had better have my head on straight when I do everything, right?
My opinion is everyone needs a good Pisces in their life.
Well, I got one as a son, and he's been doing his damnedest to slow me down since the day he was born. Mama, rest! I must do these things. Oh, dear God. Okay, fine. Mama, I'm hurt. Okay, fine. Yeah, that's pretty much what he does. Mama, look, I hurt my toe. Okay, you have to stop and take care of me. All right, I'm taking care of you. Damn it. I had so many things to do. Not now.
Oh, what sucks though, and sometimes I just stop trying after a while, is when you keep telling people things and they don't listen to you, but you're always right, and they just didn't listen to you the first time.
Yeah, there's a lot of that to go around. Dennis, there are some Tai Chi practitioners in some fighting games, so it is a martial art. Hold
It is
on.
technically, but I watched a Tai Chi practitioner go against, I want to say, a jujitsu practitioner.
What?
I watched them fight it out, and like
No. Really?
the jujitsu person destroyed the Tai Chi person. Like,
Well, I would think.
I could see if like you did really advanced Tai Chi. There's some crazy moves that they do when you get into like the advanced and the flexibility. But like when it comes to combat training,
Yeah, I would not put Tai Chi in the combat training.
I wouldn't either. I don't either. Like I do see it as like a discipline, but I'm like have a hard time being like it's the fifth martial arts that I do because it's like it's no Muay Thai.
Okay, wow. See, my dad, he put me in Taekwondo when I was little. I wanted to do judo. I was very curious about it, but he insisted on either karate or Taekwondo. And I didn't enjoy it.
I did not like Taekwondo either.
I liked my sensei. He was really cool. And it would have been neat to have him around for a while. But I didn't vibe with it. I didn't enjoy the atmosphere. I just didn't like it. So, But Qigong I'm interested in. Dennis, yeah, only you will pay the price because it does not affect me at all. No, not at all. He's a Gemini. Anyway. Okay, Dennis, jiu-jitsu is definitely a more confrontational and grounded martial art. Yeah. Dennis, pun intended.
Although Tai Chi, like it when I took the class, every time we would start over and start from like we'd just kind of repeat it. And about 7 minutes in, every single time I would get like this deep inhale, and I've never felt that before. And apparently Tai Chi balances out your vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve is a big deal in massage therapy. Like it didn't used to be such a big deal, but like now with the concept of the vagus nerve and the spirituality behind it, it is now I have to practice it at least every 3 days, and it needs to be barefoot at the park. Like it's a very specific, I could do it literally anywhere, but like I'm always guided to go for that 10-minute walk to get to that park, to that specific tree to do Tai Chi in this exact same spot every single time.
Two things. One, explain about the vagus nerve for the audience, for everybody. And two, what happens when it's winter?
As far as doing it outside and barefoot?
Yeah.
I just do it inside.
Okay. I was going to say, because I'm like, you have to go to the same park. What happens when it's winter? Do you still go? What about the ice and stuff like that? I have to adjust during the winter. Okay. All right. Just curious. I was like, okay, that's interesting. Now, what about the vagus nerve?
So I need Google.
Okay. Dennis, I was always interested in the Eastern martial arts, but I ended up taking Greco-Roman wrestling. Well, Dennis has a wrestler's build. I will say that. Yeah. But I have encouraged him to go and take some form of martial art. He just, there's a lot going on right now. Until that gets over with, I think it's very common for people to not want to join martial arts when life gets really, really crazy, but you would be surprised how much it totally clears out a lot of the bullshit. Hear that, Dennis? No, eventually I want to put my kiddo into it. Because I do feel that some of the discipline and everything will help him. As he just hollered out, "No, I did not." Well, too bad. I know you did. Anyway, but no, I want to put Arthur in it because I want him to know how to defend himself, number one. And number two, I think it's going to help. He was paying attention like a Gemini. No, you weren't. Anyway, you channeled that Taurus part of your cusp. I know it. You're just ignoring it. I'll give you ice cream if you start. Anyway, bribery. But no, I want him to have some of that focus, that discipline, but also know how to defend himself. By the way, he just heard ice cream, just so as y'all know. Yep. Witnesses here. I have witnesses. Anyway, hold on. Here we go. Dennis, money has always been an issue. And that is true. But I do know, well, no, I do know a couple people around here that they're very reasonably priced, especially for martial arts.
Yeah.
Yes. Hold on. Dennis, I was busy typing when she spoke. No, you weren't. But anyway, no, and it's going to be a little while for Arthur because he's expressive responsive disorder, but also they diagnosed him as on the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more expressive responsive because if you just slow down and pay attention with him, he knows exactly what he's doing and he gets his point across. But he's like saying, table, 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 you know, and it's like, no, this is a palm stone. So I'm not sure how to integrate that along with martial arts. And then I also worry about his clubfoot, you know. I don't know if that's going to hold him back.
Probably would have a better chance doing private lessons.
Oh, well, yeah, it's going to have to be.
The overstimulation doesn't get to be too much. I get overstimulated just with my ADHD. Like, it's a superpower when it comes to when I need that second wind during training. But when it comes to actually learning the technique, like, I really should be videotaping so that I can see it 45 times before it actually registers.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't belong in martial arts. I'm just there because it helps, like, my whole life.
How does it... Tell me a little bit how it helps you.
I mean, when I first started a couple years ago, I started because of an unfortunate event with my ex. So I had to learn how to defend myself. So I came in very quiet, very scared, very nervous. And then about 2 years in, well, really when I started Muay Thai, but about 2 years in, I started to actually have some self-confidence and have a voice again, I guess.
Okay.
But my voice is pretty loud.
Okay.
So it also has taught me how to be in the moment and in the present, which has seeped over to my work. And so my clients can really feel that the more I train, the more I am invested into my sessions.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, of all of the martial arts that you're taking, which one do you say helps you the most, grounds you the most, clears out the most for you mentally?
That would be striking. That would be Muay Thai.
Muay Thai, really?
Oh, yeah, hands down. Muay Thai fills my spiritual cup in a way I've never felt anything in my life. When you go to their competitions and see them compete, like, I couldn't figure out why I was so connected to Muay Thai than anything else. But like before they even start fighting, they will go around the ring and they will do their own personal ritual to keep evil spirits out of the ring while they fight.
Shit.
So when I turned on Reiki wanted nothing to do with the fighting ring. Reiki was like, I'm not going in there, but I'll help anybody else. And so that alone kind of blew my mind. Like they have such rooted spiritual practices with Muay Thai because it's from Thailand. I mean, it's incredible.
Wow.
That's very cool.
Yeah. You become more of who you are, but you also just, I don't know, it just grounds, like, you know, I've been doing energy work forever. It just grounds everything that you do. There's no, like, I have bipolar disorder, and when I would just train jujitsu, I would maybe overtrain too much, or I wouldn't get enough sleep, or I wouldn't eat right, and then I would train too much, and I could never find that balance. But then when I joined Muay Thai, it forced me to find a balance.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can't be a sufficient fighter if you don't have balance.
Well, I knew a couple people that did Muay Thai, and they focused more on the I'm a badass angle of it. But I was curious to see how the spiritual practice would lend to it. Well,
I'm learning that I have like this, I don't know what it's called, we'll call it miswiring between communication with the spirit world, and they don't communicate in like how it usually happens. And so I found out that I have five very ancient martial artist spirit guides from five different practices, which totally makes sense why I was like, okay, what's the next one? Or like, what do I learn next? Like, and so when I call on them, I can feel, do you guys know anything about, what's it called? I'm like, my brain is going a million miles a minute. The horror line. Have you guys ever heard of that?
No.
Okay, so they introduced me to the horror line, which is like the stream of energy that's the top of your head and it goes down and it connects you from heaven to earth. And it keeps you super, super grounded. So they actually introduced that to me in jujitsu. And then I finally learned how to like work with it and keep it grounded. And then also how to work with other people's horror lines. And so like it was intimidating for other people because I was approaching this from a very high spiritual aspect, as opposed to most people who go in and they're like, I had a bad day, or like, I just need to elevate my mood. Like I would go in with the knowledge, knowing that my spirit guides are going to somehow teach me something.
Okay. Interesting. Wow. That is very interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
I like learning a little bit more about that.
I love it.
Okay. You know what? Some Tuesday night talk, if you are free around 8:30 on a Tuesday night, I would love to sit and interview you a little bit about the spiritual practices for the Muay Thai.
Okay. If you want, I can also bring in other practitioners who also try to view it as like a spiritual practice. People who have been doing it a lot longer than I have.
That would be a psychic roundtable, because usually Tuesday night talks, I try to keep it to one subject or one-on-one interview.
Okay.
That's the shorter one. The psychic roundtable is kind of a group discussion forum where everybody just sits in and kind of like this. We just chit chat. Normally there's a heavier topic like psychic defense, body swapping, something like that. But I would love to actually just talk about the spiritual aspects of martial arts.
Okay.
That would be actually really cool, because that's a side of it that, yes, people hear about, but they don't
talk about it.
Well, they don't really get somebody who has experience with both sides of it.
Well, and that's the thing. Like when I first started jujitsu, I could feel the energy of people's moves before they did them, which is very intimidating for being a white belt. I shouldn't know shit. So that's what actually got me into learning about my spirit guides, because they were trying to show me moves before they'd happen, which is technically how you compete. Like that's the whole point of competing, is to have that energy flow.
Really?
But I was so new and didn't know anything, and like it was very overwhelming. Very, very overwhelming at first.
Oh wow.
That does not happen in Muay Thai, by the way. But it's just jujitsu.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I would love to run a whole discussion panel on it.
I would imagine it has to do with the fact that in Muay Thai, you are focusing on your left side and your right side, and you're trying to balance both sides. But jujitsu, you're using your whole body, and you are like you're tense the entire time. In Muay Thai, you have to be relaxed unless you're striking, unless you're kicking, and then you have to go back to a relaxed state.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is surprisingly a very relaxing sport, for as vicious as it looks.
I was gonna say, relaxing is not something I would correlate with Muay Thai.
But it's fun, especially knowing now that I didn't know this. Like, it's interesting what I learned about myself, but like apparently when I would like want to build more energy or to have more energy, I would just shake my arms, and I would do that before sessions or like after sessions. But I found out that that's how I tap into my power. And so when I would throw elbows, the ricochet of the elbow would do the exact same thing. So I was like, well, why do I love throwing elbows so much? Why does that feel so empowering? What is that? And then I found out that it kind of activates that inner power, for me at least, which is fun.
That's awesome. Now, back to the vagus nerve thing. Tell me more about that.
So trying to practice balancing your vagus nerve regularly helps connect you with your soul.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you where it is. I couldn't tell you like all of the anatomy behind it, but there is something very spiritual about having your vagus nerve. I think it has to do with like, I don't know, you'd have to look it up. There's like the spiritual meaning of vagus nerve.
I was going to say, I've heard a lot about the vagus nerve, but I haven't heard it from a massage therapist's perspective. So hold on, here we go. How to stimulate the vagus nerve. Vagus nerve is connected to your vocal cords, the muscles at the back of your throat, and passes through your inner ear. Try humming or singing or just listening to calm, soothing music. Hold on. What is a vagus nerve? What is? Okay, here we go. What is the vagus nerve? The vagus nerve, also known as the vagal nerves, are the main nerves of your parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, this system controls specific body functions such as your digestion, heart rate, and immune system. These functions are involuntary, meaning you can't consciously control them. Okay, the vagus nerve acts as an information superhighway to the brain, delivering information that helps control digestion, heart rate, mood, and even the body's inflammation response. Ooh, well, all right. So, outside of singing and things like that, you Tai Chi for the vagus nerve?
Yeah, you could. I think you can. I don't remember how I typed it in. I think I typed it in. How does Tai Chi help balance the vagus nerve?
Well, let's see. Let's go Google it.
Okay.
That really interests me now because I'm planning on going back to school and earning my master's degree in vocal performance.
Oh.
So part of it is taking classes in vocal pedagogy.
Okay.
Tai Chi helps the vagus nerve by improving autonomic nerve regulation and heart rate variability. It also reduces acidity in the internal body as the demand for oxygen in the blood is increased through movement, which activates the alkaline response, aiding tissue regeneration and internal healing, reduces inflammation, lowers heart rate and blood pressure. Well, looks like I'm going to have to look into Tai Chi a little bit harder for the web nugget and I, because that's one of the things I really want to do that with him, because I think it's really going to help him out too.
Yeah, that's be a good something to do with somebody else, because you both have your own journey, but you're doing the same thing. I can send you the information of the lady who taught me. She's in Des Moines.
Awesome. Please do. I don't know if I'll actually go with her. Money's always an issue, you know that, but
understandable.
But
question.
It'd be really nice.
Spell Tai Chi.
TAICHI.
TAI.
And yes, I used to read the dictionary for fun, Katie. No, seriously, when my dad was doing his writing and stuff, he would call me over. How do I spell this? Da 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 da. How do I spell this? Da 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 da. It was
my spelling used to be so great, and I swear because of the software we have nowadays that corrects your spelling, my spelling sucks now.
I will tell you, I've been using Grammarly and things like that for editing because I don't know if you guys know, but I've been doing creative writing for the last couple of years. I used to do it when I was little, but I kind of put it aside for artwork. And my stress level got so high that it had to come out somewhere. Turns out I'm actually not too bad at it. And I've been doing a lot of writing competitions. I haven't won. I did them mostly because I also needed money, but haven't won. But I will tell you, the editing programs that I've run across, I'm very curious as to who programmed them because they don't know certain phrases that are older. Wade, do you know what worrying a lip is?
What was that?
Worrying a lip. Worrying your lip.
I don't actually. I've never heard that.
Okay, well, it was pretty common phrases in older books. I typed it in. They kept trying to correct it because they thought I was doing a wrong sentence. I'm like, okay, I can show you 5 books. Whoa, Katie. Hey, girlie. Stay with us here. But no, I can show you 4 or 5 books where it's actually a phrase. but different stuff like that. And it worries me. Some of these editing programs, some of the writing correction programs, they worry me because they don't know all the different phrasing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're programmed for very modern syntax. I don't know if I'm using that word correctly. Wade?
I think you are.
Okay. And I'm very, I know one of the ladies, she was going to edit my stuff and she read it through and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about on half this stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, I can give you a bunch of different examples, but this just tells me you're not the editor for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're going to be an editor, you need to know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know, you need to have a really good grasp of the written word.
Oh God. Back in like the 2010s, 2015s,
Mhm.
I was reading so many books that had just these horrible, glaring typos and repeated sentences and misspellings and bad grammar. And I'm
Yeah.
like, who the hell is editing these books? They're doing a shitty job. I'm like, are they just relying on MS Word or something to catch the mistakes for them?
I'm thinking that's what's going on.
It's like they weren't even really reading it, or if they were, they're just sort of skimming over it.
Well, I'm very fortunate. My mom, before she left when I was 7, my mom was a huge literary junkie. She said she stayed out of trouble by developing a reading habit, and she has continued it on. She just reads constantly. My friend Nicole, library assistant, but she also reads voraciously. And my dad, he's a voracious reader. He just prefers nonfiction. So I have all these people around me that they are voracious readers. So when I'm writing something, they're like, that's not right. No, you see that right there and here, and I'm like, okay, cool. I got these editing services for free. My husband, thankfully, is a grammar Nazi from hell. I mean, Katie, I think you know that. You've met Dennis. He's a grammar Nazi. Okay.
Same.
You know, and so he's been editing my stuff, but I can always tell when he gets in a rush and starts relying on the program to do his work. Because I was writing something out and I was talking about warding, and it changed it to awarded. And I showed him, I'm like, honey, he's like, I'm like, slow down. So no, these writing programs, I like where they're going, but I feel like they need an overhaul.
I will say though, something has changed within the industry, because I've stopped seeing those typos and bad grammar and all those errors in the published works.
Oh no, you should take a look at some of the other ones, both fiction and nonfiction. When you read it, you can tell either whoever wrote it or if an AI wrote it, they're writing, but they're not reading what they're writing.
Oh God.
Because the sentences don't flow together. There's no, Katie, okay, are you a big reader?
Not as much as I used to be.
Okay, but you used to.
Yes.
Fiction or non? Both?
I mean, I can't remember the last time I read an actual book. I listen to books all the time.
Okay, even if you listen to books, you can tell when something's not flowing right, when there isn't an actual, I don't know how to say, human behind the thing. Because it's like, okay, wait, whoa. Yeah, that sentence made grammatical sense. That sentence made technical sense, but that has nothing to do with what the book is actually about. And that's what I'm running into quite a bit. I found out one of the ways to really relieve some stress is to sit down with a full-on analog book, not digital or anything. Digital seems to jack up my stress, but an actual physical book, and just sit there and read. And that's one of the ways to get my heart rate down and everything like that. And yeah, I gotta say, I'm quite curious as to what's going on in the writing world.
I have been reading a lot of articles over the past couple of years to say the books, especially in the occult genre, are actually being written by AI and or these dupe programs to sort of type in a subject and boom, it'll just like print out like a
It'll spit out a story.
book.
Yeah.
They say that the romance genre has been dealing with this for years, and the occult and witchcraft community is just now spilling over into us.
Yuck. Because it's one thing to write a fiction book that way, but to write a technical book, heck no. I keep seeing, the second I started writing and doing stuff like that, because I've got a couple nonfic books in the works for my clients that come in through the store, I started seeing the stuff for, let AI write your book. All you have to do is put a subject in and a couple characters and what you want, and boom, you'll have a novel. And I'm like,
oh God,
that's lazy as hell. That's lazy. Why am I writing a book if I'm going to do that?
It just kills my soul.
Yeah, your little Pisces heart just went.
Yes. Oh my God.
But, and all the low content books and everything people are pushing, you can make thousands this way. And I'm like, yeah, I could, but I want to do things that are actual quality.
Exactly. That's why I'm writing, because I have a unique perspective. I'm approaching things from a different perspective than most of the books out there.
Yeah. And
I know that because I've read the books out there, and it's just the same old garbage.
Well, and then there's some books that you're just like, I don't even know. We were talking about aromatherapy, and now you're talking about mirror magic. Why? Did you just need to fill a book or what? That's just some of the newer books, the witchcraft books, metaphysical books. I'm very uncomfortable with them. And it's not just because it's new. I'm uncomfortable with the style they're doing it, and I don't feel that they're doing it responsibly.
The one thing I really don't understand now is the need to sort of bring the concept of a devil into the craft. I don't understand where this is coming from or who started it. I just wish it would stop.
Like how the Conjuring movies were fantastic until they brought more religious aspect into it, which super pissed me off.
Just like
you didn't have to put the devil in the title. Like, we didn't need to do that. That was not necessary.
Dude, if you're watching The Conjuring, you know what you're getting. You want to get a little shake it up. You don't need to do this, okay? Seriously. Even the devil's tired of it. He's like, here we go. No,
in the first Conjuring movie, what's her name? Warren, the wife. What?
Lorraine.
Yeah, Lorraine. Actually has a cameo in one of the scenes
for
The Conjuring, the first one.
It's been a long time since I've watched the movies.
I watch them on the pretty regular. My brain's trying to.
Really?
It's
like a comfort. Those movies are like comfort movies for me.
It's like a classroom setting where the character playing Lorraine is giving a lecture, and then the camera pans around and you see her sitting right in the front row.
Okay. There's a metaphysical shop in Ames, and they have what is it called? A room with a bunch of cursed objects.
Ooh.
It makes me so nervous to like go in there.
The quixotic Pisces in me would just tempt fate and just dive right in head first.
That sounds like it, yeah. No, for me, if a place has cursed objects, Ouija boards, stuff like that, I'm like, okay, you guys are dipping your toes in stuff that could potentially fall out on your customers, which is why I don't carry that stuff. I don't mess with it. Now I know how to counteract it, and I have people that work with that, but I prefer having a safe space if I have a metaphysical shop.
Yeah.
It's just metaphysical and new age shops are supposed to be safe spaces.
Well, and then that's the thing, like they hosted a class and then they whipped out a Ouija board and they lost 90% of their class.
Yeah.
And then they're like, why? And I'm like,
well, and that just shows me that they don't know what they're doing. because a Ouija board it's not evil in and of itself. It's an open doorway that you can't control. What I always tell people is it's like leaving your front door unlocked in the middle of downtown Detroit. Now, you can do it, but would you really want to come home to whatever you're going to find afterward?
That's how I explain pendulums to people.
Really? See, I haven't had that kind of response with pendulums.
Well, I can do more damage with a pendulum than I can a Ouija board.
Interesting. Okay. How so? Tell me.
The Ouija board wants nothing to do with me.
Really?
Yeah. I've been working with one for like the same one for about 11 years now.
Now, hold on. It might not want anything to do with you, but have you checked your surrounding areas? Because
my home is well warded.
So nothing's getting out.
Nothing's getting out.
Okay. Good job. Well done. Most people don't go that far.
Oh, man. Like my parents don't even come over anymore because they see the symbols that are drawn outside my house and they like freak out. And it's like I'm not gonna risk
I know
harming my neighborhood based off my curiosity. Like I think that's
all right, audience. That's what we do. We do what Katie did. We make sure not to hurt anybody else when we're being reckless and crazy. Good job, Katie. Well done. You get a $10 credit at the store for being careful. Yes, I like people in this area that are cautious and well thought out because it's nothing to play games with.
It's not.
So,
but with pendulums, I mean.
Okay, what happens with a pendulum with you then? Because I don't.
It depends on what I am mentally talking to.
Oh my. Tell me more about it. Extrapolate. Now, if you've got me curious.
So I typically will program one pendulum for one deity or one spirit or one, as opposed to how people will use the pendulum and just invoke all of it. So I try really hard to just have one designated to one. And that's how I work with it.
Very organized.
Yeah. It's like if you were to program a crystal.
Yes.
In that sense.
Okay.
I don't know like what deity or god or goddess is in charge of pain, but I work with that pendulum on the regular basis with my clients.
Right.
And it's like the same effect if you were to go to the emergency room and get a pain injection.
Interesting.
But no more, and really no less, I guess. Because they'll come in, I'll do that once, and then that's it. We're going to do this one time. We can't, it's not a regular. I could charge a shitload of money and do it regularly, but I know that this is like a one-time ordeal thing. And they also know that they heal themselves. And if they choose to continue whatever to cause that pain, then it'll come back immediately. So like the person has to understand that if you don't do the work that's required with that pendulum and what I'm choosing to do, then it's just going to come right back.
Okay, so what about like chronic pain, like fibro, things like that? Chronic bad backs.
That can be tricky since fibromyalgia affects everything.
Yeah.
So it would be more of like a pulsing rebalancing session to start, because that loosens up joints and ligaments. And then you would have a gauge of kind of how that helps. And then you'd work into energy work and see how that helps. And then we'd work into massage and see how that helps. And then we would move on to pendulum work, because fibromyalgia flares at any time, anywhere, any place, and it's unpredictable. And I'm not one to claim that I
know.
like I will fix you, you know, it's yes, fibromyalgia is a tricky one.
Okay, so all right, you have different pendulums for different stuff. Different pendulums for different stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so how much trouble can you get into
with the pendulum?
Yep.
What do you mean?
Well, what can you call? What is it that makes it more dangerous than a Ouija board?
Well, you can work with demonic energy as quickly with a pendulum than you won't with a Ouija board. I'm a personal fan of angels and archangels, but I've also learned that demons are a little more hands-on-ish, and you know, just don't be willing to, you know, sacrifice your soul or.
I was going to say, have you ever actually worked with?
Yes.
Okay, so you have.
I currently do, yes.
Tell me a little bit about that. I'm curious.
Well, it wasn't really by choice. It was more of it was necessary to benefit my healing, also my mental health. But I had a bad experience with a jujitsu instructor, and Lilith does not like men. Lilith does not like men mistreating women. And she shows up. She shows up very quick.
Okay.
She's a force.
Out of curiosity, have you ever tried working with Kali?
Yes, I did about 11 years ago when I was in massage school. I didn't know her or know what she was about at the time, but I know that she destroys men. Like that's her fucking thing. But it makes sense as to why she showed up when she did. Also, the time I actually kind of was working with Jesus a smidge right after I started working with Kali. Like it was just this. So I've learned over the years that if I'm probably going to work with an angel, then I should probably balance that out with a demon. But you also have to be very, very careful with what you choose to do with them, because I have a lot of friends that have worked with like Lilith, for example.
Yeah.
If you're not careful, like I've heard stories where, you know, they'll get into Reiki and then, you know, Lilith will show up to collect. And that's the stuff that freaks me out.
Well, I was going to say, I've had a lot of call to do objects for Lilith in the shop, and I won't. And what I always tell people is whenever you look at a deity, now she's a deity. Okay, she's not a demon anymore. She's a deity now, right. Neo deity. I always say you have to look at the entirety of a deity, angel, whatever. Lilith is a baby killer. And that, I always tell people, I'm like, I can't have that energy in my shop. I'm very family oriented. And you have to be careful working with it because you don't know how that energy is going to come through. And they're like, well, I'm not using that energy. I'm like, it doesn't matter whether you're using it or not. That is who she is, baby. You know, if you're going to pick a deity that has a thing to mess up guys because you're having an issue, that's one thing, but you have to look at all of the consequences.
Yes.
It's created in a self-sustaining egregore over the centuries.
Mm-hmm. Very true. And I'm not very popular in certain sections of the community because of that mindset.
Because you have boundaries?
Yep. You know how much people hate that.
And integrity.
Okay.
But no, and that's why I asked about Kali, because I had an energy worker. I had a problem here, a very nasty, nasty spirit. Oddly enough, a baby eater spirit in life. She manifested as a Lamia to me.
Okay.
That thing. Oh, and by the way, she also thought I was satanic because I was into the New Age stuff. Yes, I know. She eats babies and she thinks I'm satanic. Way to go, right? Wood. But no, I actually had somebody, she had to call on Kali to get this thing gone. Kali helped. For me, it's not about the man stuff. She actually helps take things over to the other side. So she has been a huge help. Well, okay, I don't work with her personally because she and I's energy, I don't know, it just doesn't.
You found value in the benefit of what she had to offer.
Yes. I went through another person, though, who actually works with her very well. But that person is very comfortable with justice work and everything else. Do you know what justice work is? Okay. Justice work is where, whether it's spellcraft or energy, God. Okay, I do have a lot of professionals I know who do justice work. Okay, anyway, just realizing that. Whether it's through witchcraft or energy work, it is where an egregious wrong has been done. So wife beating, things like that. These are the people that go in and call stuff to right that wrong. if the person cannot do it themselves. This energy worker, she does a lot of justice work, and she does not care. She will just lay it down. She has her boundaries and her ethics and her morals, but it's like bam, bam, bam. No cares. No fucks given. Koalas in the rain kind of deal. She resonates really well with Kali. And Kali and I's energy, I don't mind it, but we hit kind of that grater patch where it's like a cheese grater. I don't really like deities, period. It's not that I don't like them. I'm not religious. So, doing that stuff, it's not really my thing. But I have found over these last few years, it's very interesting when you start working with them. Sometimes you just need to put a call in. And it's always an exchange. And one of them made sure to let me know that you have to make sure before you promise something.
Yes.
Okay, that you can get it. Yeah, she's still laughing over that one. But it is very interesting. Sometimes you have to call on a deity. Sometimes you have to get the help you need.
Yeah, and I feel like it wouldn't have been my first choice, but I also know that men are scary. Like, just in general, no offense. But like that's just, and I'm 4'11". I'm a very small person.
I'm not a regular man, so
okay.
I get it.
Well, you speak from the heart. You're all heart. That's cute.
It really is. And he's a Pisces too, so they're not. I don't know. I've seen Pisceans be mean. I've seen them be cruel, but generally, I don't. They just don't
have to be pushed to be that way, though.
Yeah.
Oh no, the one I knew, she was just like that. She was very shadow, very icky, very toxic, in a trailer trash kind of way.
Yeah.
That kind of nasty.
It's actually interesting because I'm not a religious person, given my upbringing and everything, but I am from El Salvador, and really? I do wonder if my bloodline has a lot to do with why I am so attracted to religions. And like, I can go into a mosque and the men won't let the women like anywhere near like the main area, but like I can walk into basically any religion and like immediately they just accept me for who I am. Like, it's just this immediate connect. I go to Baptist church and I have the best time with the singing and raising your hand. And it's just, I don't know. The more I learn about all of it, it's just very, very intriguing.
See, that's interesting because I don't dislike religion. It's just not for me.
I do fine until they jump down my throat.
Well, no, it's really bad because my son, the lady that married Dennis and I, she's a pastor, and my son loved going to church. He loved it. He loved the singing. He very much vibed with it, and he actually enjoys that. And I feel really bad for him because I'm not a church person at all. I just don't. But then again, he also grew up in a metaphysical shop, so he'll be fine.
I once went to, my friend wanted me to, I don't know if you've ever heard of a walk to Emmaus. It's like a tradition that happens through churches. It's supposed to be a way to find Christ. So my friend asked me to go to this, and she had me fill out all this paperwork for it. And I was like, well, I take anti-anxiety meds and they're not going to see that as good. And like, when I'm in an environment that I don't know, I don't eat right. I don't have that appetite. So like, I wrote that all down. Well, so apparently they lock you in a church for 3 days. They don't let you have your phone. And it's 3 days of jamming it down your throat. And I brought a singing bowl and a metaphysical book with me. And I used the singing bowl once. And then the next thing I know, I'm stuck in a room where they're doing an exorcism on me. And it must have just released something, because then when I started touching people, then I'd like rip something out of them and then I'd go to the bathroom and throw up. It was one of the most traumatic experiences I've ever been in my entire life. It ended up putting me on the 6th floor because I was not supposed, like, I'm glad that I learned a lot about like
Hey, no.
the reality of religion. Like it
Whoa,
was
no. That's only one reality, baby. What the fuck kind of church did you go to? Damn. Okay, damn.
I don't know the name of the church. I don't know. I just went with my friend. Oh, and then when we were done with it, I was super pissed. So I got a ride home from her mom, and I was the quietest I've ever been in my life. And then a week later, we were in the car, and I was like, "Why did you put me through that?"
Yeah.
And she said that she wanted me to see how congregation he treats people that are not a part of their flock.
Okay,
Like,
one, I hope she's not your friend no more.
No.
And
God,
because with friends like that, you don't need enemies. Okay, damn.
That was one of the hardest things I've ever been through in my entire life, and it's sad. It's like
I would have literally beat her ass all the way on the way home. I mean, damn. Right? The paperwork I would have to fill out and be like, well, you know what? I thought about this as a cute hobby, but the paperwork just went no. Okay. And if they tried to exercise me over a singing bowl, man, that would have been.
Well, they didn't just try to exercise me; they exercised her too at the exact same time. That's what I found out later.
Me?
Yeah, they tried to do an exorcism on me. The pastors learned very, very quickly that once they put their hands on me, they kind of figured out that maybe this wasn't the greatest idea. And then towards the end of the experience, then I would hear from pastors and they'd be like, God has such big plans for you. And I was like, okay, like I need to get the fuck out.
Oh, that's so creepy.
It was, and it's very common. It's like it's just this is just what churches do to people. And my church was never like that. My church was never like that growing up. I am like an old school traditional Lutheran church. They don't do stuff like that. Yeah.
You needed to report that church to the cops.
Oh, right. I was just going to say.
My dad said that because it ended in being hospitalized, that it would have just been too messy. But then he was like, well, churches, this is how churches are. And I was like, not our church.
No. I know plenty of people that go to church. I've had plenty of even heavy Catholic friends, and that does not happen there. So
yeah, for as many different environments as I've been in my life with different denominations, that one took the cake for me.
You poor little girl. No wonder you got PTSD. Damn.
It's terrible. I'm surprised I'm still functioning as a human being. Like, I'm surprised I still like am as open as I am.
Yeah. Earth sign determination. Yay. Good God, Katie. Man. You know, that would explain a lot of things. Do people take a lot of liberties with you like this?
What do you mean?
That church took liberties with you that they should not have taken, that are just far out.
Yeah, they were really convinced that I was the devil. They were really because the singing bowl worked, and it terrified the shit out of the pastors. It was like the moment the singing bowl was calming people down, and then shit hit the fan. And then they were like, they told me that I can either put my witchy shit in the car or I get the fuck out. And so I started to take my stuff out to the car. And it was the first time I actually been outside in I think 2 days. And I was out there and I put my stuff in the car and I wanted to leave. But then my grandpa showed up, like, etherically, and he was like, no, you like keep going. Like, there's a reason for this. And I was like, all right, well.
Damn it, Grandpa, what? Jesus.
And then when one of the old ladies that touched me, and I guess I ripped something out of her, I don't really remember this interaction, but we were in the church and I was crying and she was like, hey, she was like, don't forget about your hands. And she just couldn't stop talking about my hands. And I was like, I really don't know what's happening. And then they make you give a speech about your experience. And so I had to give the most bullshit anything I've ever, like, I don't even know where I came up with the bullshit but I guess I made the whole congregation laugh. Like, I just don't know. I was so checked out. I was so checked out that entire time. It was it was something else.
Wow. And besides, with a singing bowl, one, it's not witchy. It might have been adapted for the New Age, but it was originally a Buddhist monk thing. Okay? And it's science. The different tones affect the human brain differently.
But also, I did learn in that experience, I don't know what it is, but like the lady who was in charge of the whole event, she was like screaming at me. And I was remaining calm, and I was just like, okay, like, I see your point. Like, I understand. And I stayed really, really calm. But it was like I was ripping out her anger. And like the lady that was the lady's mom that I was with, she was like, I've never seen her like this before. And so I've learned over the years to like not do that, because that's terrifying, because you see a totally different version of someone that like nobody else believed that was happening. But she was so mad and so angry and yelling so loud. And then when I didn't react, then she hugged me and told me Jesus still loves me.
Jesus still needs to love her. Damn.
I literally, like, it makes me so scared to talk to people because I don't know what that gift is. I don't even know if you would consider it a gift.
No, I was going to say, actually, that's very, 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 very interesting. Have you ever had it happen with anybody else?
I mean, people will bring up their fears just out of nowhere.
No, that's interesting. I've had some similar experiences myself, and that was kind of an aha moment for me. That's part of the reason why I love these roundtables, because it brings up stuff for the audience, different guests, even myself. That's interesting. You were actually pulling the anger out of her. Which
is ironic.
Miserable for you.
She loved Jesus.
Yeah, but if she was unbalanced and repressing the anger in herself, then yeah, you were able to catalyze that emotion. Oof. Rough for you, but absolutely necessary for her. But still.
Oh yeah, she'll never forget me. I don't remember her name. I don't remember her face, but like I know that she will never forget me. Like I don't even know. Like it's just that kind of ability is like something that would be useful if you were a therapist, or if you were, you know what I mean? Like not at a lock-in where they're shoving Jesus down my throat. It's like, I don't totally understand. But then, you know, and then the funny part at the end, they do this ceremony. You're not really supposed to talk about this, but I don't give a fuck. They do this ceremony where they put a bunch of tables together and they make it look like a cross. And so they put me at the very end of the table next to Jesus's photo. And so it was the first time in 3 days that I actually felt like safe again. So I actually started eating. And so the lady who was apparently in charge of the whole group, she was like, "Oh, you're eating right again." And I was like, "Well, I'm not surrounded by all this fucking betrayal anymore, I feel like." And I look over at Jesus and I was like, "Man, motherfucker, like you're the only thing that didn't judge me is do this whole fucking thing." And that was the realization, was like people they use him as like I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Well, anyway,
like a scapegoat.
Huh?
Like they use Jesus like a scapegoat.
Yes.
But the irony is, Jesus also suffered tons of betrayal.
Dude, there was a thing for a while. They thought Jesus was actually a Capricorn, because it was commonly thought that he was a Pisces. But they thought Jesus was a Capricorn for a while. People kept trying to say that. One of my friends was like, "You know goddamn well no fucking Capricorn would have taken all that abuse for everybody else, all right? He had to be a goddamn Pisces. There is no other way around it, you know?"
Yeah.
I have to concur. No Capricorn in their right mind would have done that shit. So
plus he was born in the spring.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, I have to say, that is one wild ass experience, girl. I'm glad you made it through it, but Jesus, dear God, no pun intended.
I thought it was really interesting how, I mean, the situation broke my brain. I mean, there's no question about it. But I lived across from a mosque, And when I got home from this experience, the first place I went was the mosque.
Yeah.
And I felt safe. I felt heard. And then there's happened to be a women's group that night. And I learned like that they basically worship nature, and like it was just this whole like it's just crazy. So the lady knew I was suffering, and she was like, well, what's your religious, what do you believe in? And I was like, I believe in love. And she like smiles at me, and I'm like, but isn't that like even through all of that, and I'm still saying that, like I don't know what else to tell people. Like that's what that's what we should be believing in, correct?
Love, but also rationality. I mean, people get so lost and hung up in a fanaticism toward this, that, whether it's sports teams or religions or this or that or science. And you got to step back and take a look objectively at what you're doing. And I think if more people did that, there wouldn't be as much craziness as there is today.
Yes, I agree.
You know, Jesus or your sports team or you having a bad day or science or whatever is not a good enough reason to be a twat. You know, everybody would ask me, what is the principal tenet of the new age? And I'm like, there is none. But if you had to pick one, it's don't be a dick. The second one is don't be a twat. You know, but that's really it. But yeah.
Life's too short to be an asshole for no reason.
Oh, don't tell that to some people. It'll make you persona non grata.
By the way, if either of you ever work with Kali again, I was speaking with some Hindus at an Indian grocery store some years back, and we were talking about the gods and everything, and Kali came up and they told me that she really likes offerings of incense with a heady floral aroma. So they recommended vanilla and lilac, lily and rose as offerings to Kali, which to most pagans and witches would sound really counterintuitive. But I would much prefer the perspective of someone from that culture.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, that's interesting. I've been doing some research on Santa Muerte because she's been kind of knocking on my door lately. Her ambiguity makes me nervous, but she's an interesting figure, and she loves rose incense. She loves bread offerings, stuff like that. A lot of these female deities that just have an intense amount of power and are very scary. It's very surprising what they like, you know. So that sounds right to me.
Lilith loves water. So when I try to talk to her, I'm either in the shower or I go to the steam room and the sauna 6 days a week, and I've learned to have my conversations with her in the steam room because I feel like that would be a good place to invite. Be like, yes, she wants water.
Now, when she comes to you, how does she manifest visually? Or do you get a visual?
It's not a visual. It's just the feeling of a presence.
Okay. Interesting. Cool. Because I haven't had a chance to sit down and talk with somebody who is connected to Lilith or has a connection to her. Like I said, not a deity that resonates with me for obvious reasons, but I am curious of the viewpoint of it.
She's very protective, which I like.
Very much so, yeah. That would be, especially after everything you've been through, and we've only scratched the surface. I have a feeling, you know. Yeah, no, you would definitely need that. Damn. Whew.
You know, honestly, I'm surprised that as popular as goddesses such as Santa Muerte and Lilith are, that more books haven't been written about them. I mean, good books.
I was going to say, Santa Muerte's had a bit written about her, but the culture she's from, I'm thinking it's just having a hard time translating over, because a lot of the books I run across about her are in Spanish. And I'm like, I can't read Spanish. There's no English translation.
I only really know of like one book, maybe two in English on Santa Muerte.
Yeah. And it is too bad, because it would be interesting. I'm glad I kind of have a line in on her, simply because it allows me to actually get it from the horse's mouth, so to speak. No offense. As far as Lilith goes, there was a huge debate on whether she was even real, but I would lay money on her being real. But there was a lot of debate on her being Adam's first wife, and nobody really liked that. So, it's like, I have no issue with the whole Adam's first wife thing. It's some of her moral coding that I don't jive with. But I guess it's either her or a very old, powerful entity that has taken on that moniker, because her presence can be felt. And I know when I'm feeling a deity versus a regular human spirit or anything else, you can tell there's a different weight to it, different feel, texture, whatever you want to call it. For me, it feels like more pressure, a difference in weight when a deity is near. But so I don't know. Pretty sure she's a thing, but there are scholars who still debate. Well, folks, we are at 2 hours and 41 minutes. Is there anything else you guys would like to say about releasing for the lunar eclipse, or anything in general?
I can't really at the moment.
Okay. Katie.
I feel like we've discussed a lot.
I know, we always meander on these. We always meander, whether we got a topic or not, we always meander. But Katie, I do want you to tell people how to get a hold of you for your massage therapy services.
Okay, so since my relocation, I now work at a salon, and there are 6 stylists, and they all have a crap load of clients, and I'm now booked out until November.
Oh, wow,
so
that's awesome.
Now it's coming down to nobody wants to wait that long.
Well, you never know.
Well, I'm offering a special for new clients. I'm giving 40% off the first visit.
That's
and
awesome.
So when they can't get in that day,
okay,
they just want nothing to do. Like, there are some people who are willing to wait, but it's like, I get so many text messages a day now.
Okay.
But it's interesting how I can pick up on whether this person's going to be a one-time only or an actual person that's going to come in and actually work on themselves.
Okay, so what services do you offer? You offer massage? Hold on. If I can spell. You're on your phone, correct, Katie?
Yes.
Okay. Otherwise, I'd ask you to just message it to me, but it doesn't work when you're on StreamYard on your phone. Massage therapy. And what is the name of your business again?
Holistic Massage Experience. Which I really should have thought that name through, because I really shouldn't experience everything, but that feels like that's been the whole point of my business since day one. Like it.
Yes. Okay. So massage therapy, Reiki, sound baths. What else?
Tuning forks.
Okay. What else?
Pulsing and rebalancing therapy.
Pulsing and rebalancing therapy. T, not T. Okay, go ahead.
I'll just keep it at that.
Okay. All right. And then your hours. What are your hours? Or is it by appointment only?
It's by appointment only.
Okay, by only. And then either email or phone number to get a hold of you. And if it's a phone number, do you prefer text only?
So text only.
Okay. Phone number?
515-509-3213. And I am running a new special of 40% off your first Reiki session. Not the massage anymore. That got too busy too quick.
Okay.
Okay. Matrix.
All right. Boom. Wade, do you have your website up yet so I can actually put this up?
I don't. It's very, very sparse. Almost nothing on it, but like wallpapers. Like literally the only thing on it so far.
Do you have your blog that you would like me to put up so they can find you?
No, but I'm on Facebook. Just Wade Spellraiser McMorgan,
Wade.
which I had to use ever since I lost my first account to a hacker.
Oh.
A pox on them. That really pissed me off too because I had that account since 2007.
Wow. God. Now that you should hex them for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is mean. That's trolling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, and they changed my profile pic on that account too.
To what? Or am I? Should I not ask?
It's either a picture of them or just some rando.
Why hack your account? I just don't get it.
I have no idea. But apparently during the pandemic, a lot of people were losing their accounts to hackers.
Of course, because nobody has anything better to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sorry, dude. I'm glad you got a new account, but that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. So would you be willing to come on another talk this month? Because for the next few weeks, I'm going to have to keep the roundtable and everything pretty light. I've got a lot of chaos going on in and around me. Things are just, things are really up in the air right now for me. And I will talk more about it as I'm trying to get some solutions to it right now, but I won't say anything until I know a definite answer. So, but I want to. Yeah. What? Anyway, so yeah, I'm just going to keep things light. It's more going to be maybe a kind of soft topic and then more of a hangout and chat. Would you guys be willing to come back on for those?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I will message you about what the light topic will be for the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, guys, I think I'm going to cut it here and I'm going to go grab myself a burger.
Oh, and before we do, if anyone listening or anyone present knows of any mead makers in the west central Iowa area, hook me up.
Very sweet mead, right?
Yeah, sweet and strong.
Sweet and strong.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Welso would have been the guy, but I might know one other dude who might have a connection. So let me
Awesome.
dig.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, Katie.
Yes,
Fun to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you later.
Love you all.
See ya.
Bye. All right, guys. Loves to you all and happy lunar eclipse season. Hope you're releasing well. Like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on the Psychic Roundtable Spotify channel. That's where all of the Psychic Roundtable is held, all the episodes. And then the Des Moines New Age Radio is where all the Tuesday night talks, gem talks, caffeinated astrology, all the demos are going to be held. So follow both of those Spotify channels, Des Moines New Age Radio and the Psychic Roundtable. All right, y'all. Mwah. Loves to you. You have a great night. And I will see you next time on the Psychic Roundtable. Now we're going to go to the outro.